In the Bet HaKnesset, in the Bet HaKahal, Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah. Let everything that has breath praise Yahuwah. Let everybody who knows the true name praise Yahuwah. Let everybody who's been regenerated praise Yahuwah. Let everyone whose name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life praise Yahuwah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And let everyone whose name is written in the special book of remembrance for those who know Yahuwah's name and remember his name, let us give him praise.
Aleluya. Que todos aquellos que conocen el nombre de Yahweh y cuyos nombres están siendo escritos en el libro de recuerdo de todos aquellos que conocen su nombre, exalten a Yahweh.
Let all those who are being changed into his image from glory to glory on this Shabbat, you also give him praise.
Que todos los que estén siendo transformados y siendo llevados de estima a estima, le exalten y le den adoración.
Hallelujah to the Lamb. Hallelujah to the Lamb.
Hallelujah.
Who was slain for us, for you and I.
Cuando usted y yo
before we were born.
Fuimos rescatados a través de su muerte, aún antes de haber nacido.
Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
So that we may be regenerated.
Para que podamos ser regenerados.
By his goodness.
Por su Tobá,
everything that he creates is forever.
Todo lo que él crea es para siempre.
And everything that he creates has the design within it.
Y todo lo que él crea tiene el diseño dentro de él.
To live forever and to be regenerated from death to life.
Para vivir por siempre y ser regenerados de la muerte a la vida.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. You should have said that if a seed does not die,
Yeshua dijo que si una semilla no muere,
it abides alone.
Que permanece sola.
But if it goes into the ground and dies,
pero si va al suelo y muere,
it regenerates itself.
Se regenera a sí misma.
And gives forth much peri.
Y da mucho peri.
Much fruits.
Mucho fruto.
Yeshua had to go into the ground.
Yeshua tuvo que entrar al suelo.
As the first fruits.
Para que los primeros frutos.
And rise from the dead.
Y ser levantado de la muerte.
That we would also become a company of Bikurim.
Para que nosotros seamos una convivencia de Bikurim.
Who will rule and reign.
Que pudiéramos reinar y gobernar.
In our glorification.
En nuestra estimación.
and in our exaltation
y en nuestra exaltación
before Yahuwah.
delante de Yahuwah.
He created man just a little lower than the Elohim,
Él creó al hombre un poquito menor que los Elohim, que los
just a little lower than the Melachim.
un poquito menor que los Malachim.
But in the kingdom we will rule and reign over the Melachim.
Pero en el reino gobernaremos y reinaremos sobre los Malachim.
When we are put on our immortal bodies.
Cuando nos ceñiremos de nuestros cuerpos inmortales.
And we'll rule and reign with Yeshua.
Y reinaremos y gobernaremos con Yeshua.
This universe.
Este universo.
We will take back the dominion that was given to Adam and Eve.
Volveremos a retomar la autoridad que le fue dada a Adán y a Hawa.
Because he is the Elohim of all regeneration.
Porque Él es el Elohim de toda la regeneración.
Let's worship the Elohim
Exaltemos al Elohim
of regeneration.
de la regeneración. Baruch Hashem.
And the Kiddushim said, la 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 your salvation. La la la, la 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 la, in your life. Rejoice in your salvation. Rejoice in your salvation. Rejoice in the land who was slain. Rejoice in your salvation. Rejoice in your salvation. Rejoice in your salvation. Rejoice, rejoice in your salvation. In the Lamb who was slain. Rejoice in the past, Passover Lamb. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. Rejoice in your salvation. Rejoice in your salvation. Israel, rejoice in the land. Israel, rejoice in your Yeshua, in your Yeshua. Israel, rejoice in 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 your land, your paschal love. La la la, la 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 la. Israel, rejoice in Yeshua. Israel, rejoice in your past, paschal love. Israel, Israel, rejoice in Yeshua. Israel, rejoice in Yeshua. Israel, rejoice in Yeshua. Israel, rejoice in the land. Israel, rejoice in the land. Israel, rejoice in the land. Rejoice in the Lamb, Israel. He is worthy. He was slain from the foundation of the world. And through the Lamb, I said through the Lamb. I said through the Lamb. I said through the Lamb.
Y a través del Cordero
We are adopted
somos adoptados
into His family.
a su familia.
Hallelujah.
Baruch Hashem
And
Yahweh.
as part of the Elohim Yahuwah family,
Y como parte de la familia de Yahweh Elohim,
we will never again taste death.
nunca más probaremos la muerte.
We have escaped death.
Hemos escapado de la
He that
muerte.
comes to me, Yeshua said, will not come into condemnation,
El que viene a mí, dijo Yahshua, no vendrá en
but has
condenación.
already, say that with me, has already,
Pero ya,
has already. Say that with me, has already,
díganlo con
I can't hear you.
nosotros. Él ya
has already passed
él ya ha pasado
from death to life.
de la muerte a la caída.
Are you in Yeshua today as you're standing as one who has been justified freely by His chesed?
Son ustedes rescatados por su gesed, por su ternura.
It means you've already passed from death to
Y
life.
eso quiere decir que usted ya ha pasado, ha transitado de la muerte a la
That does not happen when we die.
Y eso no pasa cuando morimos.
As children of the resurrection and children of the promise,
Como hijos de la resurrección y de la promesa,
we have already passed from death to
ya
life.
hemos pasado de la muerte a la
Through
caída.
the power of the
A
Besorah,
través del poder del
through the
Evangelio,
power of the good
de las
news.
alegres nuevas. Baruch Hashem
And
Yahuwah.
as Yeshua is entering Jerusalem, matter of fact, tomorrow,
Y como Yahshua dijo en Jerusalén, y es más, es en un yom como mañana,
on the 10th day
en el yom 10º
of the month of Aviv,
del mes de Aviv.
today's the 9th,
Hoy es el 9,
and 4 days later,
y 4 yomim después,
he will be killed as the Lamb of Yahweh.
él morirá como el Cordero de
And he
Yahweh.
said to the elders of Israel, now examine me, just like Exodus 12 commands you to examine me.
Y él le dijo a los ancianos de Israel,
Aleluya.
examínenme.
None of you can find or convict me of sin.
Nadie de ustedes puede encontrar pecado ni culparme de pecado.
And as he ascended
Y así como él ascendió
into the eastern gate,
a la entrada oriental
and after descending Har Hazeitim,
y después de descender,
Mount
ascender al
Olives.
monte de los olivos,
because that's where the red heifer sacrifice was always prepared.
porque es ahí donde siempre
On Golgotha,
se preparaba la ofrenda de la vaca
on
roja
the skull
sobre la
of the Mount of
calavera
Olives.
del monte de las olivas.
And the crowd said, Hoshiana,
Y la gente decía,
Hoshiana, thank you for saving us now, O King of
Te
Israel.
dará por rescatarnos hoy, Rey de Israel.
And the rabbis and the religious leaders said, shh.
Y los rabinos y los líderes religiosos decían,
And Yeshua said,
cállense.
these are quiet, even the rocks will cry out.
Y dijo Yahshua, si estos se callan, aún las rocas clamarán.
And he says, they are my children because they say, Baruch haba b'shem Yahuwah, but you are not my children, and you will never be my
Y
children.
él dijo, ellos son mis hijos porque ellos dicen, Baruch haba Beshem Hadon Yahweh. Pero ustedes no son mis hijos y nunca serán mis
Until you
hijos.
learn how to cry,
Hasta que aprendan a clamar,
Baruch haba
Baruch haba
b'shem Yahuwah.
Beshem Yahweh.
This all happened in Psalm 118.
Y todo esto pasó en Tehillim, Salmos 118.
Tomorrow on the 10th day of Aviv,
Mañana en el 10º yom de Aviv,
as Yeshua was fulfilling scripture
cuando Yahshua estaba cumpliendo la escritura
and presenting himself
y presentándose a sí
to
mismo
the elders
a los ancianos
to be examined,
para ser
to
examinados,
examine the lamb,
para examinar al Cordero
and to the people.
y al pueblo,
The fulfillment of Zechariah 9:9
cumpliendo Zacarías
to
9:9
receive their king,
para recibir a su rey,
coming on a donkey.
viniendo sobre un asno.
People were singing Psalm 118
Y la gente estaba exaltando
in
su
recognition of the salvation
Salmo 118, reconociendo
that was
la
coming their way.
bendición que venía para ellos.
Anna, Yahuwah, Hoshiana. Anna, Yahuwah, Hoshiach, Shiana, Anna, Yahuwah, Hatzlicha, Tzlichana, Anna, Yahuwah, Hatzlicha, Tzlichana, Baruch haba b'shem Yahuwah. Baruch אתה יהוה ישוע Yeshua give Yeshua Mashiach a big todah rabah. Todah rabah, Yeshua. Your love, your mercy, your plan for our lives, your purpose, your will. You have not left us wondering and wondering. But you have orchestrated all the steps of our life.
Porque tú has aplanado todos los pasos de nuestra existencia.
Because the steps of a righteous man or woman are ordered by Yahweh.
Porque los pasos de una persona sadí,
And we
una
thank
persona
you,
recta son ordenados por Yahweh. Y te damos toda rabá
Hallelujah, that you humbled us.
que nos has humillado.
And you showed us our need, our necessity
Y nos enseñaste nuestra
to
necesidad
put on Yeshua,
de ceñirnos de Yahshua,
and to put on His
de
righteousness.
ponernos su rectitud.
And now because of your righteousness,
Y a causa de tu rectitud,
we have been received into everlasting habitations where men cannot enter.
hemos sido recibidos a habitaciones sin fin, donde no puede entrar el hombre,
And Melachim live.
y donde viven los malachim,
And the Ruachim of just men made perfect.
y los ruachim, los espíritus de hombres aquí, hombres rectos, hechos perfectos.
We are going to live, brothers and
Vamos
sisters,
a vivir, fraternos y fraternas,
in that place
en ese lugar,
where the spirits of just men,
en donde los espíritus de los hombres
that's what I'm talking about, are made perfect.
son hechos perfectos.
And that's why 1 Corinthians 6 says we're going to rule and reign the Olam and judge Melachim.
Y es por eso que en 1 Corintios capítulo 6 dice que vamos a reinar y gobernar con Elohim y a
Hallelujah.
juzgar a Malachim.
As the dominion of Adam and Eve that was lost
Así como la autoridad de Adán y Java que fue perdida
is recovered
es recuperada
through our dominion
a través de nuestra
and
autoridad,
expanded to the universe.
expandida a todo el universo.
And what is true then,
Y lo que fue cierto
hallelujah to the
entonces
Lamb, is true now.
es cierto hoy.
We're going to enter the holy place
Vamos a entrar al lugar 14
anytime we want
cada vez que queramos
to obtain mercy and help
para obtener compasión y
in our time
ayuda
of need.
en nuestro tiempo de
It's going to be
necesidad.
true then,
Y va a ser cierto entonces,
and it's just as true now.
así como lo es hoy.
So if you're in need, Hayom,
Así que si usted está hoy en necesidad
of being injected with self-worth,
y necesita ser inyectado con autovalor,
how much you're valued,
¿de cuánto valor tiene usted?
that Yahuwah had to bypass demons and hell and the grave to adopt you.
Y Yahweh tuvo que
Now
traspasar
you're
demonios
adopted.
del infierno y para poder adoptarlo. Y usted hoy ya es adoptado.
Let the
Hoy
sons
es
of-
adoptada.
Let the sons of adoption
Que
give
los
you
hijos de
praise.
la adopción le den
Let the
exaltación.
daughters of adoption
Que las
enter
hijas de la adopción entren
the holy place. We enter through the blood of the Lamb. We enter to worship you only. We enter to honor Yahuwah. I worship you. I worship you. Yeah, I worship you. I worship you. For your name is Kadosh, Kadosh. For Yahweh, your name is I am place. I enter through the blood of the Lamb. I enter to worship you only. I enter to honor Yahuwah. I worship you. I worship you. I worship you. For your name is Kadosh, Yahweh, your name is Kadosh. הגדול והנורא, מלך המלכים, אדון אדונים, ישוע המשיח, האלף והתו, בוא אלינו עוד פעם ברחמים, בוא אלינו עוד פעם באהבה. פתח את העיניים של עמך ישראל, שכל ישראל מביטים עלייך, אשר דקרו. That all Israel would see you when they appear. Open their eyes, Yahweh. Kadosh, 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 Kadosh. They may see you in the testimony of Yeshua to both houses of Israel and receive your testimony. That they may awake in these last days, the days of restoration, when you are doing a marvelous work, bringing the 12 tribes back under the control of the Creator of heaven and earth and His Son. When your word and your Ruach is going forth to the ends of the earth, through the two testimonies of Joseph and Judah, and making them one in your hand. These are exciting days. Hallelujah. These are days that the prophets and kings have desired to see and have not seen them, and desired to hear and have not heard them. Blessed are our eyes, for they see. Blessed are our ears, for they hear. The restoration of things that have been sealed and hidden and not allowed to be brought forth until the last generation on earth. As your people Israel are restored, as they run from Babylon and they run from religion and they run from congregations and religious edifices into the homes and the dwellings of where your people live and of where your people are gathered. Let's stay in an attitude of worship, please.
Mantengámonos en una actitud de adoración, por favor.
Stay in an attitude of worship, please. Hallelujah. Thank you for your word. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your still small voice.
Y tu voz tan delicada, tan querida.
Thank you that you come down in the Shabbat
Que has bajado en este Shabbat
to remind us
para recordarnos
that you love us.
que tú nos amas,
And
que
to
tú nos aprecias.
remind us that we're called according to your
Y
purpose.
recordarnos que somos llamados de acuerdo a tu propósito.
I am the bread. I am Yeshua. Is the bread. Yeshua. The bread. Say that with me, Yeshua. Yeshua. The matzah. The matzah. As we get ready to eat the Pesach, say that with me. Yeshua. The matzah. Yeshua. The matzah. Yeshua. Say that with me. The matzah. For the bread of life.
Por el ejem de la Chaim, el pan
That a
de
man
la
may
vida.
eat
Pueda comer una persona.
that bread, the matzah,
Esa matzah, ese lejem,
the
ese
holy
ácido
unleavened bread,
de trigo sin levadura.
and never taste death.
Y nunca probar la muerte.
And he that believes on him that sent
Y
me,
aquel que cree en aquel quien me envió.
and he that believes my word,
Y aquel quien cree en mi
Yeshua
palabra.
was saying
Dice Yeshua.
on the Shabbat,
En este Shabbat
will not come into
no
condemnation,
llegará a la condenación,
but is passed
pero que ha pasado
from death to
de
life.
la muerte a la vida.
Hallelujah.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh, exaltado sea el nombre de
Every eye
Dios.
closed, please.
Quiero todo ojo cerrado, por favor.
No one looking around.
Con nadie viendo a su alrededor.
No one looking around.
Nadie viendo a su alrededor.
Todah Rabba Yeshua.
Baruch Hashem.
We have entered the holy place.
Hemos entrado al lugar apartado
We are now in
y
front of
estamos
the mercy seat,
enfrente del asiento de la
in
compasión,
front of the lid of atonement,
enfrente de la expiación,
to receive
para
peace,
recibir tranquilidad,
mercy.
ternura,
We
compasión.
love Yeshua with all our heart
Apreciamos a Yahshua de todo corazón,
because He first loved us.
porque Él nos apreció a nosotros primero.
And so, Yeshua, we are gathered together on this Shabbat
Y entonces Yahshua, hoy estamos reunidos aquí en este
to allow
Shabbat,
you to speak to us,
permitirte que tú nos hables a nosotros,
for we are a needy people.
porque somos un pueblo necesitado,
We are weak
somos débiles
in our own mortality.
en nuestra propia mortalidad.
And we have assembled before you this Shabbat, Almighty Yeshua,
Y nos hemos reunido delante de ti en este Shabbat, oh Todopoderoso Yahshua.
that you would speak to us through the Nevi'im and the Shlichim,
Nos hables a través de los Nevi'im, profetas y los Shlichim, los enviados.
because we
apóstoles.
have come out and rejected all forms of religion.
Porque hemos ídonos y hemos rechazado todo tipo, toda forma de religión
That has said that you do not speak fresh manna
que ha dicho que tú no hablas maná fresca
to your people.
a tu pueblo.
And we are assembled here, Hayom,
Y estamos reunidos hoy aquí en este Yom,
not to hear ourselves
no para oírnos a
or
nosotros
to learn about
mismos,
ourselves,
ni aprender de nosotros mismos,
but to learn of you,
pero para aprender de ti,
because you are meek and lowly at heart.
porque tú eres humilde y
And
manso
when we
de
learn of you,
corazón.
Abba,
Y cuando aprendemos de
and
ti,
your
Abba,
son Yeshua,
y de tu hijo Yahushua,
we will find rest.
encontraremos reposo,
We will find rest
encontraremos descanso
for our souls.
para nuestros seres.
And we want that rest
Y queremos ese descanso
for our souls.
para nuestros seres.
O living Elohim,
Oh Elohim
speak to your
viviente,
people.
háblale a tu pueblo en este Yom.
Speak to your people.
Háblale a tu pueblo.
Anyone here with a word from
Hay
Yahweh?
alguien aquí con una palabra de Yahweh.
Anyone here that has a word
Alguien aquí que tenga una palabra.
from Yahweh? Anyone with a word as we
Alguien
wait,
aquí con una palabra.
as we wait on Yahweh?
Al esperar en Yahweh.
Todah Rabba. Thank you, Abba. May the Ruach of prophecy speak to us.
Que la ruach de profecía nos hable.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Every eye closed, please.
Todo ojo cerrado.
No one looking around.
Nadie viendo a su alrededor.
Anyone here with a word
Alguien aquí con una palabra
of prophecy?
de profecía. Abba Yahweh, I give you Hodu for another being that was brought into your presence. Abba, te doy hodú por otro ser traído a tu presencia. I give you hodú for her being, Abba Yahuwah, that you rescued her from her agony. Te doy toda rababa por su sed, que lo rescataste de su agonía. And Abba, in this time, in these times, there's a great pressure going out forth to both those that are yours and those that are not yours, Abba, so that a differentiation can be made. Y en estos tiempos, Abba, está yendo hacia adelante una presión para los que son tuyos y los que no son tuyos, para que se haga una diferencia. That once and for all we would be able to discern, que de una vez por todas podamos discernir who belongs to Yahweh and who does not.
Amen.
¿Quién le pertenece a Yahweh y quién no le pertenece? And as those that are currently not of your fold, y de aquellos que en este momento no son de tu rebaño, as they are being pressured and being shown in humility, así como están siendo presionados y como están siendo enseñados en humildad, they are finding out that they are not Elohim and there is no one but you. Están descubriendo que ellos no son poderosos y que no hay nadie como tú. And I give you hodú for this kadosh pressure, y te doy hodú por esta presión kadosh, that you are helping us improve, que nos estás ayudando a mejorar, like we are taught about the olives, como nos enseña de las olivas, that when they are pressured, the best oil comes out, que cuando son presionadas, el mejor aceite es lo que resulta. And the same for the grapes, y lo mismo para las uvas, and anything else that contains anything tov, y cualquier otra cosa que contenga algo que sea tov. And the same for what is evil, Abba Yahuwah, y lo mismo para lo que es malvado. As your word says, como dice tu palabra, that those that are kadosh be yet still more kadosh, que aquellos que sean kadosh se hagan más kadosh, and those that are not, that are unclean, be yet more unclean, y aquellos que son inmundos que sean aún más inmundos. So I thank you, Abba, for your separation and your habdalah. Te doy hodú por tu separación y tu habdalah, as you are bringing this last of the jubilees, Abba Yahuwah, to an end. Así como estás trayendo esto último de tus jubileos a su final. And these end times are showing forth your exaltation. Y estos tiempos finales están enseñando tu exaltación. So I give you hodú for Sisi Huerta. Y te doy hodú por Sisi Huerta. And for Lilia Huerta. Y por Lilia Huerta, Abba Yahuwah. And I give you hodú for their family. Te doy hodú por su familia. That you would continue to work your righteousness in their lives. Que tú continúes obrando tu rectitud en sus vidas. And showing them, Abba Yahuwah, your pleasant rewards, y enseñándoles tus recompensas placenteras and your blessings, Abba, y tus brakot, and that you would continue, Abba, to help them discern between tov and evil, y que les continúes enseñando a discernir entre lo que es malo y lo que es tov. And the same for Kol Yisrael, y lo mismo para todo tu pueblo Yisrael. Beshem Yeshua HaMashiach, Amen.
Amen. Come on, please.
But the Master Yahweh said,
Come on.
Porque el Señor Yahuwah dice,
Stay in attitude of worship, please.
Abba Yahweh says to his people,
le dice a su pueblo,
for I am manifesting that which has been hidden.
porque estoy manifestando aquello que ha sido escondido.
I have told you.
Yo les he dicho,
I have revealed to you my Abba's name.
les he revelado el nombre de mi Abba.
And I am yet esteeming it again.
Y lo sigo estimando.
Through that which is made manifest.
A través de aquello que está siendo manifestado.
Once again.
Una vez más.
For if you humble yourself.
Porque si se humillan a sí mismos.
Empty yourself.
Se vacían a sí mismos.
And come to me as a child.
Y vienen a mí como niñitos.
For I will restore the key.
Yo restauraré la llave.
To your first love.
A su primera Jabá.
I am revealing to you again.
Y les revelaré de nuevo.
Yet a second witness.
Un segundo testigo.
Of all that I have spoken to you.
De todo lo que les he hablado.
For my words are Ruach.
Porque mis palabras son Ruach.
And Chaim.
Y Chaim.
And that which is in the Shamayim.
Y aquello que está en los Shamayim, los firmamentos.
I am restoring
Lo estoy restaurando
on earth.
sobre la tierra.
And do not fear,
Y no tengan temor,
nor be afraid
no tengan miedo
of that which you do not understand.
de aquello que ustedes no comprenden.
Amen.
But cling to me,
Pero acérquense a mí
and I will restore the faith of your youth.
y yo restauraré la fe de su mocedad.
Amen. Page 11 in your Sidurim, Tov Word, page 11 in your Sidurim. Our sister Mariamne will be leading us in today's liturgy as our reverend is a little bit under the weather.
Página 11 de su Sidurim.
So please don't.
María me va a estar liderando en la liturgia porque la Heaifer está, no se siente todo.
Please don't forget to pray.
Así que por favor no se olviden de orar,
Rivka will be feeling a little bit better,
que Rivka se sienta mejor.
a little bit better, and return to us with full strength.
Y que regrese a nosotros con fuerza completa.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. And so please turn to page 11
Así que por favor vayan a la página 11
in your Nazarene Israelite Sidur.
en sus Sidurim nazarenos
We
israelitas.
want to welcome
Queremos dar la Baruch
all our
Haba
new friends and
a
listeners
todos nuestros amigos y oyentes nuevos
around the world,
alrededor del mundo,
listening on WYATI TV and radio,
escuchando en WYATI TV Radio,
who are part of the Yadi
que
Nation.
forman parte de la nación Yati.
And it's a blessing to have you join us in our assembly,
Y es una braca que se unan con nosotros en nuestra asamblea,
coming to you in a live Shabbat service,
viniendo a ustedes en un Shabbat en un Shabbat en vivo,
so that you and your mishpacha
para que ustedes y su familia
are not alone
no estén solos
in celebrating Shabbat all alone,
y no estén celebrando Shabbat
and
solitos,
that you are with us
y que estén con nosotros
as part of our family.
como parte de nuestra
The same way
familia.
Yeshua accepted us into Yahweh's family
De la misma manera que Yahshua nos aceptó en la familia de Yahuwah
by His precious blood,
a través de su tan preciosa,
we accept you into our family
les aceptamos a ustedes en nuestra
here at
familia,
Goshen B'Tzafon.
aquí en Goshen Bat Zafon.
Page 11 in your Sidurim.
Página 11 en su Sidurim, Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
וביום שמחתכם ובמועדיכם ובראשי חדשיכם ותקעתם בחצוצרות על אלוהיכם ועל זבחי שלמיכם והיו לכם לזיכרון לפני אלוהיכם אני יהוה אלוהיהם. Also in the yom of your gladness and in your appointed times and in the beginnings of your months you shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the offerings of your shalom offerings, that they may be to you a reminder before your Elohim. I am Yahweh your Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Yahweh
Baruch Shem
Eloheinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav etziwanu al tekiyat hatzotrot. Amen. B'shem Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, our Elohim, King of the universe, who sets us apart with His commandments and has commanded us regarding the blowing of the twin silver trumpets in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen.
Yahweh Siftai Tiftahu Piyagi Tekilateka. B'Shem Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen.
Yahweh, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. In the name of Yeshua our Mashiach. Amen. Yiyule ratzonim repi vehiyon libi lefaneka. Yahweh tzuri vegoali. B'Shem Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen.
May the expressions of my mouth and the thoughts of my heart find favor before you, Yahweh, my rock and my redeemer, in the name of Yeshua our Mashiach. Amen. Baruch atah Yahuwah, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav uratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uratzon hinkilanu, zikaron le'maaseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh yitziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu baharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kadsheka be'ahava Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen. Blessed are you, Yahweh, our Elohim, King of the universe, who has set us apart with his commandments and taken delight in us. With a haba and favor, he gave us a set-apart Shabbat as a heritage, a reminder of the works of creation, for it is the beginning of our set-apart Moadim, a reminder of the exodus from Mitzrayim. For you have chosen us, and you have set us apart from all the nations, and you gave us your set-apart Shabbat with a haba and favor as a heritage. Blessed are you, Yahuwah, who sets apart the Shabbat in the name of Yeshua, our Mashiach. Amen. Page 12 for the reading of Isaiah. Página 12 para la lectura de Isaías 58:13 through 14, 58:13-14. If you turn away your own foot from the Shabbat, from doing your own pleasure on my Kadosh Yom,
Together.
and call the Shabbat a delight, the Kadosh Yom of Yahuwah, estimable, and shall esteem him, not doing your own ways, nor finding your own pleasure, nor speaking your own words. Then shall you delight yourself in Yahweh, and I will cause you to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed you with the heritage of Yaakov your Abba, for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken. Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
ואני תפילתי לך יהוה את רצון אלוהים ברב חסדך עיני באמת ישקה. How lovely are your tents, O Yaakov, your dwelling places, O Yisrael. Yahweh, through your plentiful kindness I will enter your house. In awe I will bow down toward your set-apart house. Yahweh, I love the house where you dwell, and the place where your Tiferet resides. I shall prostrate myself and bow. Then beneath before Yahweh my Maker. As for me, may my prayers to Yahweh be at the right time, O Elohim. In your abundant righteousness, answer me with the truth of your Yeshua.
Amen.
Baruch. Page 13. Página 13 para Baruch. Baruch et Yahweh HaMevorach. Baruch et Yahweh HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Bless Yahweh, the Blessed One. Yes, and blessed is Yahweh, the Blessed One, for all times. זכור את יום השבת לקדשו, ששת ימים תעבוד ועשית כל מלאכתך, ויום הרביעי שבת ליהוה אלוהיך, לא תעשה כל מלאכה, אתה ובנך ובתך, עבדך ובמתך, ובקמתך, וגריך אשר בשעריך. כי ששת ימים עשה יהוה את השמיים ואת הארץ, את הים ואת כל אשר בם. וינח ביום השביעי, על כן ברך את יהוה את יום השבת ויקדשהו. ויאמר יהוה אל משה לאמור, ויצאת אל בני ישראל לאמור את שבתוי תשמרו כי אות היא ביני וביניכם לדורותיכם, לדעת כי אני יהוה מקדישכם. Recall the Shabbat to keep it set apart.
6 days shall you labor and do all your work.
But the seventh is the Shabbat of Yahweh, your Elohim. In it you shall not do any work.
Amen.
For in 6 Yamim Yahweh made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested the seventh Yom. Therefore Yahweh blessed the Shabbat and set it apart. Speak also to the people of Israel, saying, Truly my Shabbats you shall keep, for it is a visible sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am Yahweh who sets you apart. Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל לא תהי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה יהוה את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש והיה נדחה חודש בחדשו ומדי שבת בשבתו יבוא כה בשר להשתחוות לפניו אמר יהוה. The children of Israel shall keep the Shabbat, observing it throughout their generations as an everlasting covenant. It is a visible sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 Yamim Yahweh made the heavens and the earth, and on the 7th Yom he rested and was refreshed. And it shall come to pass that from one Chodesh to another, and from one Shabbat to another, all flesh shall come to worship before me, says Yahweh. Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Please stand for the Birkat HaMashiach and the Shema. Por favor, le pónganse de pie para el Birkat HaMashiach y el Shema. Page 14 in your seat. Página 14. Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu et derech hayeshua b'Mashiach Yeshua. Amen. Blessed are you, Yahuwah, our Elohim, King of the universe, who has given us a way of deliverance in Mashiach Yeshua. Amen.
Amen.
Shema. Facing towards Yerushalayim. Viendo hacia Yerushalayim. Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Leolam Vaed, Yahuwah, Yahuwah, Yahshua HaMashiach, Hu Yahuwah. Every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that Yeshua HaMashiach is Yahuwah. Amen. ואהבת את יהוה אלוהיך בכל לבביך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך, בביתך ולבתך, בדרך ושכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאור על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, ואהבת לרעך כמוך. And you shall ohev Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart, with all your being, and with all your might. And have these words which I command you this yom be upon your heart. And you shall teach them diligently to your children, and speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you retire, and when you arise. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and let them be frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates. And you shall ohev, love your neighbor as yourself. Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Mi kamoka. Yes, you may be seated. Mi kamoka ba'erim Yahuwah. Mi kamoka nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot. Oh, Sefele, oh, Sefele, who is like you, Yahweh among the mighty ones? Who is like you, esteemed and set apartness? You are Yasam in praises, working wonders, Yahuwah. Who is like you, oh Yahuwah? Yahuwah Tito, Kire Olam Hado. Yahuwah Tito, Kire Olam Hado.
Baruch Hashem Yah.
Page 15 in your Siduri. Baruch atah Yahuwah,
Baruch Shemo.
Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vegonei Hakol, Vezoker Chasdei Avot, Umevi Koel, Livnei Benehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava.
Melech Ozer Moshiach.
Elohim of Abraham, Elohim of Yitzchak, and Elohim of Yaakov,
Together.
the great, mighty, and Yasam Elohim, the Most High Elohim, who bestows favor and creates all, and reminds himself of the kindness of the Abot, and brings the Redeemer to their children's children, for his name's sake, with Ahava. O King, Helper, Savior, and Shield, blessed are you, Yahuwah, Shield of Abraham. אתה גיבור לעולם יהוה, מחיי מתים, אתה רב להושיע, מחכה חיים בחסד
מחיי מתים.
מחיי מתים רבים רבים. סומך נובלים ורופא גולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך אדום גבורות, ומי דומה מלך מביט מחיי ומצמיח ישועה ונמלך להיות מתים. ברוך אתה יהוה מחיי המתים. You Yahweh are mighty forever. You raise the dead. You are mighty to save.
Yes.
You sustain the living with grace and resurrect the dead with abundant kindness. You uphold the falling. You heal the sick. You set free those in bondage and keep the faith with those that sleep in the dust. Who is like you, master of mighty deeds? And who can compare to you, king, who allows death and restores life and makes Yeshua sprout? You are faithful to resurrect the dead. Blessed are you, Yahuwah, who resurrects the dead. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Amen. The righteous.
Kedushat Hashem Yahuwah, the setting apart of the name of Yahuwah. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יכולוך סלה כי אל מלך הגדול והקדוש אתה יהוה האל הקדוש. You are set apart, and your name is set apart, and set apart ones praise you every yom forever. For you are Elohim, the great and set apart King. Baruch
Amen. Baruch Hashem.
Page 16 in your Sidur for the Kibbutz Galuyot. Página 16 en su Sidur para el llamado de los exiliados. Baruch Hashem.
Amen.
Tekabe shofar gadol charutenu, v'sanez lekabetz galuyotenu, v'kabtzenu yachad mechareach, arba kamfort haaretz le'artzanu. Baruch atah Yahuwah mekabetz mikei amo Yisrael, b'shem Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen.
Sound the great shofar for our freedom, and raise a standard to gather our exiles, and gather us from the four corners of the earth. Blessed are you, Yahweh, who gathers the dispersed of his people. Yisrael. Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Healing for us all, la sanación para todos nosotros. Rafainu Yahweh wene Rafa Hoshienu, wena Basha Hitehilatenu, Atawe Halel Refua Shlema, Laho Tachalenu, Uko Makuvenu, Uko Makutenu, Kiel Melech Rofene Man Rafa Werach Aman, Ata. Baruch atah Yahweh Rofei Kolei Amo Yisrael, B'Shem Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen.
Heal us, Yahweh, and we shall be healed. Save us, and we shall be saved. For you are our praise, and bring complete recovery for all our ailments, for all our pains, and for all our diseases, because you are the healing King, who is faithful and kind. Blessed are you, Yahweh, who heals the sick of your people, Yisrael. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen.
Sim Shalom, page 17. Establece la Shalom. Sim Shalom, Tova Ubraka, Chayim Ken V'Chesed V'Rachim. Sim Shalom, Tova Ubraka, Chayim Ken V'Chesed V'Rachim. Aleinu, Aleinu, Al Kol Yisrael, Al Kol Yisrael Amecha, Barkinu Avinu Kulanu Ki Echad, Be'or Panecha, Ki Be'or Panecha Natat Lanu, Yahweh Eloheinu, Torat Chayim, Ve'ahavat Chesed, U'tzedakah U'rachah Ve'rachamim, Ve'hayim Ve'shalom, Ve'hayim Ve'shalom, Ve'tov Yiyeh Be'einecha, Lebarkeinu U'barek et kol Amcha Yisrael, Be'kol eto Be'kol shah, B'shlomecha, Be'rovos Ve'shalom. Baruch atah Yahuwah HaMevorach et Amo Yisrael B'Shalom. Establish Shalom, togetherness, blessing, life, tenderness, kindness, and compassion upon us and upon all your people Yisrael. Bless us, our Abba, all of us as one, with the light of your countenance. For with the light of your countenance you gave us, Yahweh, our Elohim, the Torah of life, and then Ahava of kindness, righteousness, blessing, compassion, life, and shalom. And may it be tov in your eyes to bless us, and to bless all your people Yisrael in every season, and every moment with shalom, with your shalom, with plentiful strength and shalom. Blessed are you, Yahuwah, who blesses his people Yisrael with your shalom. Baruch Hashem.
Amen.
Please stand for the Kaddish on page 17, facing towards Jerusalem again. Por favor, levántense para el Kaddish, la oración del reino, por el reino, en la página 17. Yitkata veyitkata shemera
Amen.
Amati brachem ustei veyamlik malchutei Ekaye konu yomei konu kayeduku b'et Yisrael Bagala ubizman karib ve'imru Amen Heshmera Leolam Leomaya Yitparach ve'yishabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitruman ve'yitnaseh ve'yitadar ve'yitarel ve'yitalal Shemete Kudisha Leila min kol birkata ve'shirata Tushtekata ve'nerekemata Damir Randalma Ve'imru
Amen.
Oh, say shalom Roma Huyas shalom Aleinu Ve'akol Yisrael Ve'imru Aleinu Oh, say shalom Roma Huyas shalom Aleinu Ve'akol Yisrael Ve'imru Aleinu Amen Yahweh Shalom Yahweh Shalom Shalom Aleinu Ve'akol Yisrael Yahweh Shalom Yahweh Shalom Shalom Aleinu Ve'akol Yisrael Yahweh Shalom Yahweh Shalom Shalom Aleinu Ve'akol Yisrael Yahweh Shalom Yahweh Shalom Shalom Aleinu Ve'akol Yisrael. Magnified and set apart be His great name in the world which He has created, according to His will. May He establish His kingdom during your life and during your yamim and during the life of
Mess
the
up
whole
my
house
plans,
of
Yeshua.
Israel.
Come back.
Even
Mess
swiftly
up all
and
my
soon,
plans.
and
Come
say,
on now.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Let His great name be blessed forever and to all perpetuity.
Yes.
Let us praise, esteemed, exalted, extolled, magnified, and lauded be the name of the set apart one. Blessed is He.
Blessed is He.
Though He be high above all the blessings and songs, praises and consolations which are uttered in the world, and say amen, amen anyways.
Amen.
May He who makes shalom in His high places make shalom upon us and upon all Yisrael, and say amen.
Amen.
In the name of Yeshua our Mashiach, amen.
Amen.
Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
And Aleinu? Okay.
No, Brother Yishai will come forward.
We don't do Aleinu? Okay. And if Brother Yishai could please come forth and remove the Torah from its ark.
Please remain standing as the Torah is brought forth from the Aron Kodesh.
Por favor, permanezcan de pie al momento que Torah está siendo sacada de su Aarón
We have a
Kodesh.
direct descendant from Boaz,
Tenemos a un descendiente directo de Boaz,
Brother Yishai,
nuestro fraterno
who
Yishai,
will be doing the honors and be our Baal Koreh, or our master of reading.
quien hará la estima.
As I said earlier, not Baal Korach, but Baal Koreh.
Baruch Hashem.
That would be a bad thing if you were Baal Korach. Vayi bin Soharon, Vayomer Moshe, Kuma Yahuwah, Veyafutzu Oimecha, Veyanusu Misorecha, Mipanecha. Now wait a second.
Espérense un segundo.
It came to pass whenever the ark moved forward,
que cuando el arca avanzaba,
then Moshe would say, rise up, Yahuwah, and let your enemies be scattered.
Moshe decía, levántate, Yahweh, y que sean esparcidos todos tus enemigos.
And let those who hate Yahuwah flee from before
Y
him.
que aquellos que odian a Yahweh huyan de delante de él.
For from Sion will go forth the
Porque
Torah,
de Sion vendrá Torah.
and the word of Yahuwah from
Y la
Yerushalayim.
palabra de Yahweh de Jerusalén.
Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah. Everyone. Ki mitzion, baby steps. Tetzeh Yeshua. Yerushalayim. Everyone. Torah,
Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, Mikedushato, Ki Etzion Tetzeh Torah.
together.
Ki Etzion Tetzeh Yeshua, Udabar Yahuwah, Yerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, Mikedushato, Ki
Mitzion
Tetzeh Torah.
Sing it, children.
Ki Etzion
Big children and young children.
Yeshua, Le'amo Yisrael, Bikedushato.
Seated you may be. Ya'amod Sholiach ben Aryeh la Torah. Bottom of page 18. Baruch et Yahuwah HaMevorah. Baruch atah Yahuwah Baruch Shmo Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Yahuwah Baruch Shmo noten ha'torah. Amen. Together. Bless Yahuwah the Blessed One.
Amen.
Yes. And blessed is Yahweh the Blessed One for all times. Blessed are you, Yahuwah Elohim, King of the universe, who selected Israel from all the nations and gave us his written as well as his living Torah, as well as his witness to both houses of Israel. Blessed are you, giver of all scripture and of your Kadosh Torah. B'Shem Yeshua HaMashiach. And all the Kedoshim said, Amen. Amen. This time I'd like to call forward Brother Yishai Ben Ephraim, our Baal Koreh, our master of reading. And Baruch Hashem Yahu, our parsha today can be found in Bereshit, Genesis, chapter 6. Those of you who like to know a lot about the unseen world of Nephilim and demons, this is a chapter specially selected for you. Bereshit, chapter 6, Genesis, chapter 6. And if Genesis, chapter 6 is not enough, the entire book of Enoch will serve as a midrash and a commentary, adding more information.
Parsha de hoy la podemos encontrar en el libro de Bereshit, Génesis, capítulo 6. Número que llamamos. Y si quieren más información,
You know.
pueden leer el libro de Enoch y de Jubileos.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took for themselves wives, all of which they chose. And Yahuwah said, My Ruach shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his Yamim shall be 120 years. There were Nephilim in the earth in those Yamim, and also after that, when the sons of Elohim came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them, the same became mighty men, who were of old, men of fame. And Elohim saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his life was only evil continually. And it bothered Yahuwah that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him in his life. And Yahuwah said, I will destroy man who I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and that the fowl of the air, for it bothers me that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of Yahuwah. And these are the generations of Noah. Noah was a Zadik man and perfect in his generations. And Noah had his halakha with Elohim.
Man.
And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Yaphet. And the earth also was corrupt before Elohim, and the earth was filled with violence. And Elohim looked upon the earth, and see, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted its way upon the earth. And Elohim said to Noah, The end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And see, I will destroy them with the earth. Make a teva of gopher wood. Rooms you shall make in the teva, and shall cover it inside and outside with tar. And this is the design that you shall make it. The length of the teva shall be 300 cubits, the width of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shall you make to the teva, and in a cubit shall you finish it above. And the door of the teva shall you set in the side of it, with lower, second, and third stories shall you make it. And see, I, even I, do bring a flood of Mayim upon the earth to destroy all flesh, in which is the breath of Kayim from under the Shamayim.
Why do you think there were 3 stories? 3 heavens, 3 manifestations of Yahuwah, Father, Son, and Ruach. So the fullness of Yahuwah dwelt with Noah in that teva. He was not alone. So that's why it was 3 stories. When we think of an ark, we think of 1 story. It was actually 3. And also, whenever you see the number 3 in Scripture,
¿Por qué creen que el arca tenía 3 pisos? ¿Era para representar los 3 firmamentos y la estima de Yahweh?
what's the first thing that comes into your
Y
mind?
cuando vemos el número 3 en la escritura,
Life.
es lo primero que viene a su mente.
Life,
Es el
resurrection.
concepto de Jaim, de resurrección.
So through the teva,
Así que a través de la Teiba, el
life
arca,
will be restored
la Jaim, la vida sería restaurada
to the remnant of humanity.
al remanente de la humanidad.
It's no accident.
Eso no es
There were
accidente.
3 stories.
Que hubieran 3 pisos en ese barco.
That in itself
Eso en sí mismo
is very deep.
es muy profundo.
Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
But with you I will establish my brit, and you shall come into the teva, you and your sons, and your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall you bring into the teva, to keep them alive with you. And they shall be male and female. And of the fowl after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after its kind, 2 of every sort shall come to you, to
So
keep them
in
alive.
other words, if Yahuwah,
Así que en otras palabras, si es que Yahweh,
you can sit down, yeah, sit down. So if Yahuwah
así que si Yahweh
granted a state license,
le hubiera dado una licencia
so he
estatal
could bring 2 male cows and 2 male asses and 2 male camels,
para traer dos bueyes o dos asnos o dos camellos,
and he would have given them a license
y les hubiera dado una
to
licencia
reproduce
para reproducirse,
and marry,
casarse,
the world would have been wiped out.
el mundo hubiera sido destruido.
So when someone says that biblical marriage is illegal,
Entonces, cuando alguien dice que el casamiento escritural es ilegal,
what I tell them is kiss my Torah.
lo que yo les digo es, besen mi Torah,
Kiss my Torah.
besen mi Torah.
Well, the state doesn't license it.
El Estado no le da licencia para eso.
Right. And the state licenses
Y las licencias estatales,
that which cannot reproduce.
eso dan licencias estatales a aquello que no se
Now,
puede reproducir.
if Yahweh followed man,
Y si Yahweh siguiera al hombre,
he would have put 2 males together
hubiera puesto a 2 varones juntos
and 2 cute females
y
together
2 muchachas juntas
and led them up into the
y
ark.
permitirles que entraran al arca.
And if he was man,
Y si él fuera un hombre,
he would have given them a state license.
les hubiera dado una licencia estatal,
Because everybody knows
porque todo el mundo sabe
that polygyny is illegal.
que la poligamia
everybody
es
knows.
ilegal. Todo el mundo lo sabe.
That mankind
Que la humanidad
will only license
solamente dará licencia a
perversion,
la perversión
or a mixture of truth of holiness and
o
perversion.
a una mezcla de la realidad y de la
So here's my
perversión.
message to the world, and here's my message to the body of believers.
Así que este es mi mensaje al mundo y mi mensaje al cuerpo de creyentes.
We can marry as He has instructed us,
Podemos casarnos como Él nos ha instruido.
as many wives
Cuantas esposas
as He gives us,
que Él nos dé,
so that it's not our lust,
para que no sea nuestra
but
lujuria,
His will.
pero su voluntad.
And if we stay
Y
monogamous,
si nos mantenemos monógamos,
that's a blessing.
esa es una braca.
But take all the licenses,
Pero tómense todas sus licencias
and I think you know the rest of the
y
story.
saben lo que pueden hacer con ellos.
Stick it in the place where it's very difficult for the sun to break through.
Póngalas en un lugar donde es muy difícil que les dé la luz del Shemesh.
Go ahead.
Amen.
Amen. But think about that. If Yahweh had been man, that ark would have been filled with perverted cows, perverted horses.
Imagínense,
Think about where we'd be today.
Yahweh pensara como los hombres, ese arca estuviera lleno de perversos caballos, de perversos hombres, y ¿dónde estaríamos hoy?
Verse 21.
Verso 21 del capítulo 6.
And take for you all food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to you, and it shall be for food for you and for them. So Noah did according to all that Elohim commanded him, so he did.
That's it. Beautiful. Everyone standing, please.
Todo el mundo de pie, por favor.
Everyone standing. As the Torah is lifted high above the Kehillah,
Así como la Torah está siendo levantada altamente delante de la Kehillah.
those master, you didn't even make one mistake. That's why you read Baal, Koreh. I didn't even find one mistake. Not even one. Hallelujah. Maybe one day we'll license it. What do you think? Everyone pointing at the uplifted Torah.
Todo el mundo señalando a la Torah levantada.
Vezot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Lifnei Bnei Yisrael Al Pi Yahuwah Beyad Moshe. Amen. Brethren,
Fraternos,
this is the Torah
esta es la Torah.
Yahweh placed before our forefathers Yisrael
Yahweh puso delante de nuestros antepasados
through
Israel,
the mouth of Almighty Yud Hey Vav Hey
a través de la boca del Todopoderoso Yud He
and the
Vav
hands of
He,
Moshe Rabbeinu Moses our teacher,
y las manos de Moshe nuestro maestro,
of eternally blessed memory.
de recuerdo apreciado.
It's Chaim Yi. As the Torah is returned to the ark, Sing it. Everyone.
Shalom.
Shivenu.
Yahuwah Eleka V'nashuba Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Hashivenu Yahuwah Eleka B'nashuba Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu
Please remain standing. I want to say the bracha following the reading of the parsha.
Por favor, permanezcan de pie porque quiero decir la bracha siguiendo la lectura de la parasha.
Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech haolam. Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Yahuwah Baruch Shemo Noten HaTorah. Amen. Together. Blessed are you, Yahweh Elohim, King of the universe, who has given us the Torah of truth and planted eternal life in our midst. Blessed are you, Yahuwah, giver of the eternal Torah. B'Shem Yeshua HaMashiach, Kol HaKehillah Yimru, Amen, Amen, Amen. Mazel tov. You may be seated. Let's do this quickly. You guys are so good in this little flock, paying your tithes, that I don't have to do any arm twisting. Isn't that nice? Isn't it nice to finally go to a place where they don't have to twist your arm? Don't you just love how these places do it? Brethren, we're going out of business. The electric has to be paid. The mortgage has to... Don't waste your time with those religious places. Listen, Yahuwah's work done Yahuwah's way never lacks Yahuwah's provision. Let's say that again. Yahuwah's work done Yahuwah's way never lacks his provision. If it doesn't have his provision, it's either not his work or it's not being done his way. So I want to thank everybody here. You guys are faithful. You guys are very faithful. You don't have to twist your arm. We know who you are. And everybody here tithes. And even if you only make $10, cough it up, man. Don't you want to be blessed? Don't you want to be taken care of?
Amen.
Give the buck. You don't need the buck. You need Yahweh's favor more than you need the buck.
Come on.
All right? You don't need that buck. Trust me. Yahweh made sure that your mother was provided for before you were born so that you could be born. So what I'm going to ask you to do, those of you who believe the word of Yahweh and believe that much is given, much is required, you have a responsibility to fund his work when it's done his way. And a ministry like ours is not afraid to go places where Yahweh wants to give fresh manna. I'm going to ask you to go to the Blue Pay link on the radio page or the television page, also on the Yadi homepage. And if you're listening by radio, same thing. Look for that Blue Pay link. That'll make sure that no one gets your information. In all the years of the ministry, we've been doing ministry here for 30 years, there hasn't been one credit card stolen. There hasn't been one debit card compromised. That's Target. You're talking about Target and Sears and all those people. And so praise Yah, we've set this up for you, and we pay a lot of money so that we're without excuse. So please set aside, we praise Yahweh for the family in Virginia and our brethren in Virginia who have been supporting our ministry. Some have increased their support to $300 a month. Others have been with us for There's one sister in Wisconsin been with us for almost 10 years, $600 a month. So Yahweh is faithful. But what happens is when we don't participate, we lose out on. And you could ask any of those people who tithe regularly; they're taken care of. They don't tithe out of their richness; they tithe out of their obedience and out of their love for Yeshua. So let us set aside the maaser, the kadosh maaser liyahuah. Everyone could give, even a single mom with children. You want to prepare your future. You want to make sure your bills are paid. Set aside $10, $15, $20. Every dollar that comes in, we use for the ministry. We have no salary. We survive off of our publications and things that we pay for out of our own pocket. So praise Yah for you. We'll be back with the word of Yahweh in about 3.14 pi.
El diezmo es para su familia, para la bendición de su casa, y esto es evidente, lo pueden ver, de cualquier persona que ha sido leal en proveer para este ministerio, en asistir a este ministerio, dándole a Yahweh a través de este ministerio, de su familia y su casa, son ayudadas por su esfuerzo de diezmar y ofrendar a este ministerio.
thank you for your tithes and your offerings. Baruch Hashem Yahuwah.
Y sus ofrendas.
Thank you for your tithes and your offerings.
Adarabá por sus diezmos y sus ofrendas.
We have many new friends and listeners today. Praise Yah for you.
A muchos amigos nuevos y oyentes nuevos hoy exaltados
man.
Yahweh por
We have
ustedes.
visitors here, but I don't know where the visitors are.
Tenemos aquí a visitas, pero no sabemos dónde están.
But I know somebody that's here.
Pero sé alguien quien sí está aquí.
You,
¿Usted?
me,
¿Yo?
us,
¿Nosotros?
Yeshua.
Yeshua.
We just have more spaghetti. What do we have?
Tenemos más espagueti.
What's for dinner today?
¿Qué vamos a cenar?
Spaghetti?
Rice and lentils.
Rice and lentil? No masa? Oh. Hey, Pesach is coming.
Viene la Pascua.
Was it 4 days? 4 or 5
En
days?
4, 5 y a mí.
Some of you is going to be your first Pesach.
Para algunos de ustedes va a ser su primer Pascua.
And I'm going to have my white outfit on,
Y voy a tener mi traje
my
blanco,
wedding robe
mi bata de bodas
that Rivka made for me.
que me hizo Rivka.
So I'm going to have that, and we're going to have a tov time.
Y vamos a tener un tiempo muy
Hi, Rivka.
excelente.
By the way, if you need some homemade garments,
Además, si necesitan unas ropas
begadim,
hechas en casa,
Yahuwah hats with his name,
sombreros con el nombre de Yahweh,
shirts like mine,
camisas como la mía,
Moshe,
donde dice Moshe,
that's your girl.
o dice algún otro nombre.
Rivka K Creation,
Rivka K Creation.
and she will make anything you want except underwear. What's
Y
that?
ella les hace todo lo que quieren menos
Oh, you make
ropa
underwear too?
interior.
No, no underwear.
Hace ropa interior.
What do you want? I'm giving you a plug. What do you want? Excuse me. Pardon me, wife. Covenant Creation
Creaciones de convenio
by Rivka
por
K.
Rivka K.
Amen. Again, we want to welcome all our new listeners. I'll be preaching a message for a few hours today.
Y una vez más, le damos la baruja a todos nuestros oyentes nuevos y estaré proclamando un nuevo mensaje titulado,
It's an oldie but goodie,
es un viejito pero tobito,
entitled Israel's 10th Red Heifer.
titulado la décima vaca roja de Israel.
For those of you who don't hear very well,
Y para aquellos de ustedes que no oyen muy claramente,
this has absolutely nothing to do with you, Hefner.
esto no tiene nada que ver con
This is Red Hefner. I mean heifer. This is Red Hefner. I mean,
no Hugh Hefner.
this is Red Heifer. It has nothing at all to do with you, Hefner. He's red, but in a Meshuggah way, in a crazy way. This is the Kadosh Red Heifer.
Aquí está hablando de la vaca roja, el cerro rojo,
I'm gonna give my
Kadosh.
vocal cords a break.
Voy a darle a mis cuerdas vocales un
I'm
descanso
going to ask for our Baal Koreh
y voy a pedir que nuestro Baal Coré
to read for us
nos lea
because he's on overtime right now. Yochanan chapter 2,
Yohanan capítulo 2, Juan 2,
verses 1 through 6.
versos 1 a 6.
Give him a microphone, please.
Denle un micrófono,
Zachariah,
por
give him,
favor.
thank you. Yochanan chapter 2,
Juan capítulo 2,
verses 1 through 6.
versos 1 a 6.
Go
Juan
ahead.
capítulo
Give
2,
it, and loud, please. So
versos 1 a 6.
we're going to do like they do in the Pentecostal church.
Vamos a hacer como
The
hacen en la
pastor doesn't
iglesia
get paid enough to
pentecostal.
read the scripture, so he has one of the elders read, and all he does is teach. All right,
Vamos
go
a hacer
ahead.
lo que hacen en la iglesia pentecostés.
But we're not
Conseguir que alguien más lea.
We're not Pentecostal.
No somos pentecosteses.
But we do believe in the gifts of the Ruach.
Sí creemos en los dones de la
All
roja.
right, go ahead.
Adelante.
And on Yom Shlishi, there was a marriage in Cana.
Stop.
Pare.
There was, on the third day of the week, there was a marriage in Cana of
En
Galilee.
el tercer día de la semana había una boda en Caná de Galilea.
Right?
And the Ima of Yeshua was there. And both Yeshua was invited and his Talmudim to the marriage. And when they needed more wine, the Ima of Yeshua said to him, "They have no wine." And Yeshua said to her, "Woman, what is it to me and you? My hour has not yet come." His Ima said to the Avadim, "Whatever he says to you, do it." And there were set there 6 stone jars.
Stop. They were at the wedding in Cana,
Estaban-
6 stone jars.
Habían 6 contenedores de piedra en la boda de Caná.
Continue.
Continúa.
After the manner of purifying of the Yahudi.
Stop.
Pare.
After the matter of purifying of the Yehudi,
Según la costumbre de purificación de los Yahudí,
every Hebraic wedding
toda boda hebrea
had a baptism
tenía una inmersión.
or a mikvah.
Una inmersión.
But because of the fact that it was a wedding,
Pero a causa de que era una boda
and they didn't literally have time or place to do mikvah,
y no tenían literalmente tiempo y lugar para hacer una inmersión,
the governor of the Moed
el gobernador o el maestrazala de la fiesta
would make sure to have water present,
confirmaba de tener agua presente,
because every rabbi, it was the responsibility of every rabbi
porque era la responsabilidad de todo rabino
to be ritually clean
estar ritualmente limpio
before he performed the wedding.
antes de hacer una boda.
Additionally, there were 6 pots,
Además, habían 6 vasijas o contenedores.
and in those days the pot was legal as well. Go ahead and translate that. I pay you good money. In those days, pot was legal as well. Go ahead.
Está haciendo Sholiach una broma que en esos tiempos el pot,
So
las
Yeshua
vasijas eran legales.
took 6.
La marihuana.
The servants brought 6 6 containers of water
Entonces los siervos traían 6 contenedores de agua
for a total of 180 gallons.
para un total de 180 galones.
What verse were you on?
¿En qué verso estaba usted?
6.
Verso
So
6.
does it say 6 pots of water?
Dice 6
Yes. What verse is that?
de agua.
6 stone jars, verse 6.
Verse 6.
Verso
6
6.
stone jars.
6 tinajas de agua.
That wasn't for stoning, but 6 stone jars.
Tinajas de piedra para agua.
Full with water.
Llenas de agua.
But this water was in place of a mikvah,
Pero esta agua estaba ahí en lugar de una inmersión.
because the rabbi had to be ritually pure.
Porque el rabino tenía que estar purificado ritualmente.
In addition, if you had 100 or 200 guests, they all had to be ritually
Y
pure.
además,
They all had to be ritually pure as well.
con todos esos invitados, 100 o 200 tenían que estar igualmente purificados.
And we have in those 6 gallons, each of those gallons represents what?
Y en cada uno de 6 galones tenemos ¿qué representa cada uno de esas tinajas?
The cleansing for all the people,
La purificación de todo el pueblo,
including the rabbi and the governor.
incluyendo al rabino y al gobernador.
And there were specific instructions that Miriam acknowledged needed to be carried out.
Y habían instrucciones específicas que reconocía Miriam que se tenían que llevar a cabo
For the cleansing of the people.
para la purificación del pueblo.
Before the water was turned to wine by Yeshua, we see that later.
Antes de que esa agua fuera transformada a vino, vemos después que Yeshua
It was there
estaba ahí
for ritual cleansing.
para la purificación ritual.
Now, let me recap. Every Hebraic wedding
Y les repito, toda boda hebrea
had this procedure.
tenía este procedimiento.
When you enter,
Cuando uno entraba,
you received a white garment.
recibía uno sus ropas blancas.
And you washed your hands, you washed your head, you washed your feet, you washed every whit
Se
whole
lavaba uno todas sus manos, sus pies, su cabeza completamente
with that water.
con esa agua.
These were the waters of purification.
Estas eran las aguas de purificación.
Could you remember that?
¿Pueden acordarse de
Every
eso?
wedding had the waters of purification.
Toda boda tenía las aguas de purificación.
Mom was in charge.
Mi mamá estaba a cargo
And she says,
y ella dijo,
whatever he says,
lo que él diga,
the specific instructions for the purifying of the guests,
las instrucciones específicas para la purificación de los invitados,
you are to do.
tienen que hacerlo.
Because Israel was always cleansed
Porque Israel siempre era purificado
with specific instructions.
con instrucciones específicas.
There was no other way for them to be clean, for the people of Israel to be clean,
Otra manera para que el pueblo de Israel fuera purificado,
without specific instructions.
sin instrucciones específicas.
I'm going to take a quick look at that, even though Yishai read that,
Voy a tomar un vistazo rápido, aunque lo leyó ya
because there
Yishai,
may be something here that I need to give you.
porque quizás aquí hay algo que necesito darles.
Yochanan chapter 2.
Juan, capítulo 2.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Exaltado sea el nombre de Yahweh.
They needed more wine.
Necesitaban más vino.
Ima said they have no wine.
Mamá dijo que no tenían vino.
So the wine was there,
Así que el vino estaba ahí.
and so was the water.
Y ahí estaba el agua.
You see that?
¿Ven eso?
They were there for different purposes.
Estaban ahí para propósitos diferentes.
The wine was there for people to have a good time.
El vino estaba ahí para que la gente se pudiera divertir.
The water was there for purification.
El agua estaba ahí para la purificación.
We see that in John, Yochanan chapter 2, verse 6.
Vemos eso en Juan 2:6.
We see that let's say 3 gallons apiece, so 3 times 6 is 80 gallons.
Digamos que 3 galones por 6 son
6 times 3, 18, sorry.
18,
18 gallons.
18 galones.
And it tells you the water was there to purify the guests.
Y le dice que ahí el agua estaba para purificar a los
The
invitados.
wine was there to make them happy Hebrews.
Y el vino estaba ahí para hacer los hebreos alegres.
So the water had its purpose, and the wine had its purpose.
Así que el vino y
And the spaghetti had its purpose.
el agua tenía
Everything
su
in life has a
propósito.
purpose.
El espagueti tenía su propósito. Todo en la vida tiene su propósito.
And a time and a season under him.
Y un tiempo y su temporada bajo el
A time to
sol.
hate,
Tiempo de odiar,
like sin.
como el pecado.
Time to love.
Tiempo de apreciar.
Time to make shalom.
Tiempo de hacer shalom.
Time to make war against the devil and his legions.
Tiempo de hacer guerra en contra del diablo y sus legiones.
Kohelet, chapter 3.
Kohelet, capítulo 3.
Ecclesiasticus.
Eclesiastes.
Chapter
Eclesiastes, capítulo 3.
So the Ima said
Así que la mamá dijo
they have no more wine.
que no tienen vino.
And Yeshua said, woman,
Y Yahshua le contestó, mujer,
nothing, I honor you as my mother,
te estimo como mi mamá,
but you're not the mother of God.
pero tú no eres la mamá de Elohim.
I take my instructions from Abba.
Yo tomo mis instrucciones de
You're
Abba.
not the mother of God, so between you and me, this is not an issue. I'm in charge here, you're not.
Tú no eres la mamá de Elohim, así que entre usted y yo estoy a cargo. Usted no.
Mama, I love you and I honor you according to the Torah.
Mamá, la quiero y la estimo de acuerdo a Torah.
But between you and me, this has nothing to do with you.
Pero entre usted y yo esto no tiene nada que ver con usted.
My hour to purify the people has not yet come.
Mi tiempo para purificar al pueblo no ha llegado.
So his Ima said, I'm sorry.
Así que su mamá dijo, perdone.
Whatever Yeshua tells you to
Lo que
do,
Yahshua les diga que hagan,
you do.
ustedes
I'm
hagan.
not important.
Yo no soy importante.
Whatever Yeshua tells you to do,
Lo que Yahshua les diga que hagan,
you do.
ustedes háganlo.
Yeshua said, fill the jars with mayim,
Yahshua dijo, llenen esos cántaros con agua.
draw them out, fill them with water,
Sáquenlos, llénenlos con agua
and brought them to the master of ceremonies.
y llévenselo al maestresala.
And he saw that the water
Maestro de ceremonias, y vio él que el agua
had become wine.
se había convertido en vino.
Would you write that down, please?
¿Pueden escribir eso, por favor?
From the same 6 jugs
De esas mismas 6 tinajas
came both water for purification
vino ambas el agua para purificación
and wine for joy.
y el vino para el júbilo.
From the same 6 stone
De
jars.
esas mismas 6 tinajas de piedra.
The first stone jar, the first 1,000 years since Adam. The second stone jar, the second 1,000 years since Adam. Each of those stone jars represented a millennium.
Cada una de esas tinajas representaba un milenio o un yom de la creación 1000 años después de Adán.
We see later on
Vemos después
that this was the first miracle that Yeshua performed.
que este fue el primer milagro que hizo Yahshua
And his disciples believed in him.
y sus aprendices creyeron en
Look at
él.
Yochanan chapter 2, verse 11.
Miren a Juan 2:11.
And by the way, the reason I'm investigating these other books that many of you have been reading about online is because the same Yeshua did the same thing for the house of Joseph.
Y de la misma manera que estoy
It's not a
investigando
different
los
gospel.
libros que ustedes han visto, es porque Yahshua hizo la misma cosa para la casa de Yosef. No es el mismo
It's not a
evangelio.
different message.
No es un mensaje diferente.
He used water and wine
Él usó el agua y el vino
to cleanse the wedding.
para purificar la boda.
He also used water and wine to cleanse the people of Israel in America.
Él igual usó el
Same
vino y el
words,
agua
same
para
Sermon on the Mount.
purificar al pueblo de Israel en América. Mismas palabras, mismo sermón en la montaña.
Same message.
Mismo mensaje.
Yahweh said that one of the signs of the latter days, there would be books coming out of the earth.
Yahweh dijo que una de
And
las
you wouldn't believe
señales
it.
de los últimos
And your mama wouldn't believe it.
sería que vendría
And your wife wouldn't believe
de
it.
la tierra y que nadie lo iba a creer.
And some of these books are not just the Book of Mormon.
Y algunos de estos libros no son solo el libro de
The
Mormón,
Book of Jubilee,
son el libro de los
the Book
jubileos,
of Enoch.
el libro de Enoch.
And how many people say, oh, Enoch's comic
Y cuánta gente dice, oh, Enoch es cómico,
is coming out of the earth?
está viniendo de la tierra.
Dead Sea Scrolls?
Los pergaminos
Where did
del Mar
Jubilees
Muerto.
come from?
¿De dónde vino Jubileo?
From my printing press?
De mi impresora.
Jubilees came from the earth.
Jubileos vino de la tierra.
Yahweh said he has 2 sticks.
Yahweh dijo que él tiene 2
Yeshua
varas.
said he would go find and visit the other flock.
Yes,
Not
sir.
the scattered sheep, one in Asia, one in Australia, one in China. There would be a fold. Fold means they're collected. They're already together.
Yahshua dijo que él iba a visitar a su otro rebaño, no a un pueblo esparcido, sino que había un rebaño ya reunido, junto, unánime.
And a book has been recorded
Y un libro se ha grabado
in fulfillment of Isaiah 28 and 29.
en cumplimiento de Isaías 28 y 29.
And it gives us this warning to the house of Israel and to believers.
Y nos da esta advertencia a la casa de Israel y a los creyentes.
Yeshua said, I will do a marvelous work.
Yahshua dijo, yo haré una obra maravillosa.
Those who erred in Ruach and in doctrine will come to learn Ruach and doctrine.
Aquellos que cometieron error con respecto a doctrina y Ruach vendrán a ser corregidos en Ruach y doctrina.
And in the day when I unseal this book,
Y en el yom cuando yo quite el sello de este libro,
it'll be through the tongue of the unlearned.
será a través de la lengua de los que no son aprendidos.
Daniel
Daniel
was a highly educated man
era un hombre muy educado,
in the courts of Babylon.
altamente educado en los
A
altos de
scientist, a
Babel.
mathematician, and an astronomer.
Un científico, un matemático y un astrónomo.
Not unlearned.
No era una persona
John the
ignorante.
Beloved went to college.
Yohanan el apreciado fue a la universidad
And he finished his thesis when he wrote the book of Revelation.
y escribió su tesis cuando escribió el libro de Revelación.
He was taught personally by Yeshua.
Él fue enseñado personalmente por Yahshua.
Not exactly stupid and unlearned.
No era exactamente tonto y sin haber
There would be
aprendido.
one
Vendría
who
uno
was 17,
que tenía 17
who had
años.
no education, was a high school dropout.
Educación, no fue a la
And
preparatoria.
Yahuwah says, but when that happens,
Y Yahweh dijo, cuando eso acontezca,
you're going to be asleep.
vas a estar dormido,
You're not going to believe.
no vas a creer,
But I'm still going to do the marvelous work.
pero yo voy a hacer de todos modos esa obra maravillosa.
The same way people don't believe
Y
Jubilees
de la misma manera que la gente no cree el libro de los
is
judíos,
anointed by Yahweh.
que es ungido por Yahweh,
And yet it came out of the ground.
y sin embargo procedió de la tierra.
Go online.
Vayan en
If
línea.
you believe in the book of Enoch, they'll think that you're in a cult.
Si usted cree en el libro de Enoch, piensan que usted está en un culto.
Despite the fact that the New Testament speaks of Enoch 100 times.
A pesar de que el Nuevo Testamento habla de Enoch 100 veces.
And the Tanakh speaks of the record of Joseph many times.
Y que el Tanakh habla del archivo de Yosef muchas veces.
So all these things that Yahweh is bringing out of the ground,
Así que todas estas cosas que Yahweh está sacando de la tierra,
we're afraid of.
tenemos temor de
And
ellas.
rightfully so.
Y con mucha razón.
Because, honey, let me explain something.
Porque, queridos, déjenme explicarles algo.
Me and Rivka are Kaisers.
Rivka y yo somos
We
Kaisers.
come from the house of Judah.
Venimos de la casa de Yahuda.
Some say we're not real Jews, we're Kaisers.
Algunos dicen que no somos Yahudim reales, que somos
Let's
Kaisers.
assume we're Kaiser rolls.
Así que digamos que somos Lejemot de Kaiser.
She and I had the same problem.
Ella y yo tuvimos el mismo problema.
We were told, don't read that Brit Hadashah.
Se nos dijo, no lean ese convenio
Don't read the
renovado.
New Testament.
No lean ese Nuevo Testamento.
Because the
Porque
Christians
los cristianos
are going to use the Brit Hadashah to convert you.
van a usar el convenio renovado para convertirlos.
And then they're going to take, like they're going to have earplugs and a nose plug, and they're going to force your head in the swimming pool. They're going to do a forced baptism.
Y les van a hacer una inmersión
En el
forzada.
nombre de Jesús.
In the name of Jesus.
So Rivka being a nice Jewish girl.
Así que
Nice
una
Jewish girl.
muchacha tobia judí.
And I, of course,
Y yo, por supuesto,
being a nice Jewish boy.
siendo un apreciable muchacho yahudí,
We followed the voice of the people.
seguimos la voz del pueblo.
Because I just knew that I knew
Porque yo sabía que yo sabía
that if I read,
que si yo leía
and Rivka read,
y Rivka
the
leyó
Brit Hadashah,
el Brit Hadashah,
we would be denying our heritage,
negaríamos nuestra herencia,
dishonoring the memory of 6 million Jews, of our people who died in the Holocaust.
desestimaríamos el recuerdo de 6 millones de yahudim que murieron en el holocausto.
And in order to honor their memory, we could not read the New Testament because we didn't want to be traitors to our people.
Y para estimar su recuerdo, no queríamos leer el Brit Hadashah para no ser traidores a nuestro pueblo.
Because social media told us in those days it was just big mouth. There was no social media.
Porque los
In those
medios-
days they told us if you read the New Testament.
Porque los medios sociales de estos tiempos, que eran las bocas, nos decían que si leíamos el convenio renovado,
You won't be Jewish anymore.
ya no seríamos Yahudim.
And in the New Testament,
Y en el Nuevo Testamento
it's going to talk. You're going to have to swear allegiance to the Pope.
van a tener que jurar alianza al Papa,
You're going to find bishops
van a buscar obispos
and cardinals,
y cardenales,
both in and out of St. Louis,
ambos dentro y fuera de San Luis,
both in and out of Louisville, Kentucky.
ambos fuera y dentro de Louisville, Kentucky.
They lost last night
Ayer perdieron
in the March Madness.
en la locura de
So
marzo.
they warned us.
Así que nos
If
advirtieron,
you don't want to start worshiping Mary, the Queen of
si
Heaven,
ustedes no quieren comenzar a adorar a María, la reina del firmamento,
don't read the New Testament.
no lean el Nuevo Testamento.
Because we're a nice Jewish boy.
Porque usted es un muchacho yahudito
And you don't want to wind up worshiping Mary.
y no quiere usted acabar adorando a María
And rubbing beads when you wake up, rosary beads.
y tomando los rosarios
And saying 99 Hail Marys before Tzoharaim,
y diciendo 99 Ave Marías antes del amanecer,
before lunch.
antes del almuerzo.
Thankfully, the Holy Ghost,
Y toda rama que el Espíritu de Yahweh,
Spiritus Sanctus,
Espíritu Santo,
told me not to listen to anybody,
de no ir a nadie,
that I had a brain,
que yo tenía un cerebro
and to read it myself.
y que lo leyera por mí mismo.
And I was shocked.
Y estaba yo atónito.
No popes,
Nada de papas,
no cardinals,
nada de cardenales,
no bishops,
nada de obispos,
no superintendents of Rome.
nada de superintendientes de Roma.
I got dark in my eyes.
Tenía a mis ojos oscuros.
I saw Solomon.
Vi a Shlomo,
I saw King David.
vi al rey David,
I saw Moses.
vi a Moshe,
I saw the promises of the Messiah.
vi las promesas del Mesías.
I was looking for Christmas and I found Passover.
Estaba buscando Navidad y encontré la
I couldn't
Pascua.
find Christmas.
No pude encontrar Navidad.
I was looking for Lent. I was sure that they wanted to have me start observing Lent.
Estaba buscando
And then I found Shavuot.
la Cuaresma y
Instead of
encontré a
observing Lent,
y en lugar de observar la Cuaresma,
the disciples were celebrating Pentecost.
los aprendices estaban celebrando Pentecostés.
Now I hear the same voices,
Y hoy ahí oigo las mismas voces.
fear,
Temor.
who have never read the Book of Mormon,
Que nunca han leído el libro de Mormón.
and they're working in fear
Y están trabajando en temor.
because they know about the red underwear,
Porque conocen de los calzoncillos rojos.
they know about the Freemasonry and the carpenter objects on the temple endowment ceremony,
Conocen del libre de masonismo y de todos sus símbolos.
and they want nothing to do with it, and neither do we.
Y no quieren nada que ver con ello y tampoco
And
nosotros.
so we're scared
Y por lo tanto tenemos
because we
temor.
used to think
Porque antes pensábamos
that the New Testament
que el Nuevo Testamento
would lead us into paganism,
nos llevaría al paganismo,
away from Israel.
lejos de Israel.
Now we're also sure
Y hoy tenemos la certeza
that if we read the record of Joseph
que si
in the
leemos
diaspora,
el archivo de Yosef en el exilio,
that we're going to wind up involved with Freemasonry
que vamos a acabar involucrados con el libre masonerío
and with secret oaths
y con votos secretos
and temple
y
ceremonies
ceremonias del templo
that are unscriptural.
que no son escriturales.
But I have news for you.
Pero les tengo alegres
If
nuevas.
you read the record of Joseph in America
Si ustedes leen el archivo de Yosef en América
and Yeshua's message
y el mensaje de
through
Yeshua
the prophets he sent,
a través de los profetas que él
you're going
envió,
to see the same Besorah.
van a ver el mismo evangelio
And you're not going to see any popes.
y no van a ver a nada de
You're not going to
obispos,
see any Mormons.
nada de mormones,
You're not going to see any LDS
nada
pictures.
de imágenes de la
You're not
LDS,
going to see any temple underwear
no van a ver calzoncillos del templo,
or the compass with the what is that, the Mason symbol, what is that, a compass?
ni el compás de la masonería.
You're not going to find it.
No lo van a encontrar.
You're going to find David.
Van a encontrar a
You're
David,
going to find Moses.
van a encontrar a Moshe,
You're going to find Levi.
van a encontrar a Leví.
So what am I saying?
Así que, ¿qué estoy diciendo?
I'm saying Yahweh has not given us the spirit of fear,
Estoy
but of
diciendo
power, and I am able, just like
Y
you're able.
Yahweh no nos ha dado el ruach, la ruach de temor, y que yo soy capaz, así como usted es capaz.
You're able to read the New Testament
Es usted capaz de leer el convenio renovado
and not follow
y no seguir
all the groups
todos los grupos
who claim the New
que
Testament
reclaman el Nuevo Testamento,
represents their belief.
que representa su
And
creencia.
so must you do with Jubilee
Igual tiene que hacer con el libro de los
And Enoch.
Judeos y con el libro de Enoch
and the Book of Mormon,
y el libro de Mormón.
because there are no Mormons in the Book of
Porque
Mormon.
no hay mormones en el
Hello,
libro de Mormón.
shock.
¡Qué asombro!
Okay, so these are documents that are being restored.
Así que estos son documentos que están siendo restaurados.
And if you are a mature adult and not a child,
Y si usted es un adulto maduro y no un niño,
you're going to wonder
usted va a
how
preguntarse
these documents
cómo es que estos documentos
led to these religions.
conducieron a estas
How did
religiones.
the New Testament lead to the Pope?
¿Cómo fue que el Nuevo Testamento condujo al Papa?
How did the New Testament, where Mary says, "My spirit has rejoiced in Elohim, my Savior,"
¿Cómo es que el Nuevo Testamento
She needed a savior.
dice que su ser, su ruach se regocija en Yeshua, su Redentor? Ella necesitaba un Redentor.
how did they use the New Testament
¿Cómo usaron el Nuevo Testamento
to justify worshiping Mary?
para justificar la adoración de María?
The same way they used those records
De la misma manera que usaron esos archivos
to build structures and doctrines,
para edificar estructuras y doctrinas,
blaming the book.
acusando al libro.
But as Yahuwah lives, they're not in the book.
Como vive Yahweh, no están en el libro.
Do you know that people read the book of Enoch
¿Saben ustedes que la gente lee el libro de Enoch?
and they wind up believing that Enoch is Yahuwah?
Y acaban creyendo que Enoch es
You can go
Yahweh.
online, you'll find them.
Vaya y búsquelos, ahí están.
I had one or two guys on my side saying that Yeshua is Enoch.
Un hombre o dos en mi página me dijeron que Yahshua es Enoch.
And he uses the same Bible we do.
Y él usa la misma Biblia que nosotros.
Now, I'm sorry the Ruach took me in this direction, but it is what it is.
Perdónenme que la Ruach me llevó en esta
Let me get back to
dirección,
what I'm supposed
pero
to
es
get
lo
back
que
to.
es.
All I'm saying is I'm not going to be lied to anymore.
Lo único que estoy diciendo es que ya no se me va a
I can
engañar.
read the Quran and I don't need a Mahatma Gandhi or an imam or a holy man to tell me whether it's from the Ruach or it's not. I can read the Quran and I can rely on the Ruach in me to know if it's another gospel.
Yo puedo leer el libro del Corán y darme cuenta por la ayuda de la Ruach si es un libro que viene de Yahuwah o no.
Absolutely.
Absolutamente.
But I could also read the record of Joseph
Pero igual puedo leer ese archivo de Yosef
and know that that is not a lie,
y saber que eso no es una mentira.
which is why a lot of it seems plagiarized.
Que es razón por la cual mucho de ello parece ser
So
copiado.
look how we work.
Pero mire cómo trabajamos nosotros.
When the record of Joseph quotes Isaiah,
Cuando el archivo de Yosef cita a Isaías,
he's allegedly plagiarized.
está copiando ese texto.
But when Ezekiel and Jeremiah quote Moses,
Pero cuando Ezequiel y Jeremías citan a Moshe,
or when John the beloved, the apostle John, quotes Isaiah 53,
o cuando Yohanan el apreciado cita a Isaías 53,
word for word,
palabra por palabra,
he's not plagiarized.
ahí no está copiando.
But the record of Joseph
Pero ese archivo de
quotes
Yosef
Isaiah is being plagiarized.
cita a Isaías y
You see?
dice que se está
You see the double
copiando.
standard?
Ven el doble estándar.
Well, Joseph Smith was this and that, and Moses was a murderer, and
Pues
David was
José
an adulterer. What else would you like to talk
es
about?
meter
Yahweh
el
uses
dedo.
imperfect vessels.
Y que Moshe fue un asesino y no era una persona
Let's just
perfecta.
move on. I'm not going to waste my time
Usa
convincing
vasos
you if you're not a
imperfectos.
student of the Word. I'm not going to waste my time.
Y no voy a gastar mi tiempo
I'll drink
convenciéndolos si no son aprendices de la palabra.
Let's continue.
Continuemos.
But I mean, it's a shock.
Pero es un asombro,
It's an absolute shock.
un asombro absoluto.
So these 6 pots
Así que estas 6 vasijas
were there for cleansing.
estaban ahí para la purificación.
The wine was there for rejoicing.
El vino estaba ahí para regocijarse.
But Yahweh gave Israel specific instructions to be clean.
Pero Yahweh le dio a Israel instrucciones específicas para ser purificados.
He gave us specific instructions on how to produce water
Nos dio instrucciones específicas de cómo producir
that
agua
would be turned into purification water.
que se convertiría en agua de purificación.
Without this water, please tune back in, listen carefully.
Sin esta agua, y escuchen,
Without this water,
sin esta agua,
none of the animal sacrifices
ninguno de las ofrendas de los animales
could take place.
podría tomar lugar.
If none of the animal sacrifices could take place,
Si ninguno de esas ofrendas de los animales pudiera tomar su lugar,
listen carefully,
escuchen con mucho
all
cuidado.
the vessels of ministry were unclean,
Todas las vasijas de ministerio estuvieran inmundas.
and all the priests of Yahuwah were unclean.
Y todos los kohanim de Yahweh estarían inmundos.
Before the vessels and the priests of ministry could conduct their ministry,
Antes de que esos vasos y esos ministros de ministerio pudieran hacer su ministerio,
they had to be clean.
ellos tenían que ser purificados.
And the altar,
Y el misbeach, el
and
altar,
the pots,
y las vasijas,
and the bowls,
y las tinas,
and the pans.
y las ollas.
Mary recognized
Miriam reconoció
that Yeshua can only give the only Yeshua can give the instructions.
que solo Yahshua podía dar las
Hadon
instrucciones.
Yeshua,
El Adon Yahshua,
to cleanse the guests
para purificar a los invitados,
and also to have a good time.
e igual para divertirse.
Now let's go to Numbers,
Vamos al libro de Números,
Bamidbar chapter 19.
Bamidbar número
And
19.
let's quickly read, let's see how the Ruach
Números.
leads us.
19 y veamos cómo nos guía la Ruach.
Numbers, Bamidbar
Números, el libro de Números, capítulo 19.
19.
Bamidbar 19.
And we read in Numbers 19.
Y leemos ahí en el
And by the
capítulo
way, people,
19.
you're coming new into this ministry and it seems like we're fixated on certain things.
Y además, si ustedes están entrando nuevos en este ministerio, parece que estamos muy enfocados en ciertas cosas.
The key word is seems.
La palabra clave es parecer.
I had to be fixated on the two houses before it became common doctrine.
Yo tuve
I was a
que-
pioneer in the two-house restoration.
Yo tuve que enfocarme en el
It took me
concepto de
4
las
years
dos casas
where I wouldn't have to shut up till people finally began to understand it.
para que pudiera llegar a ser una doctrina, una enseñanza común. Me tuve que estar proclamando por 5 años para que la gente lo entendiera.
Now around the world, everybody says, "Oh, Baruch Hashem Yahweh,"
Y hoy alrededor del mundo la gente dice Baruch Hashem
or
Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Well, who do you think restored that?
¿Quién cree que restauró eso?
I was thrown out of organizations for preaching and focusing and being fixated on restoring the true name to Israel. I did that for 6, 7, 8 years.
Yo fui sacado de organizaciones y ministerios porque me enfoqué demasiado en proclamar y enseñar el real nombre de Yahuwah.
I spent 3 years only fixated on exposing Islam as the end-time beast, and I wrote my books on Islam, and people would say, when are you going to get off it and start preaching love? When are you going to start preaching that stuff and get back to preaching Yeshua's love? It took me 3, 4 years to harp on that.
Pasé 3 años enseñando sobre la bestia del Islam, que es la bestia de los tiempos finales, para que la gente comprendiera, y me llevé 3, 4 años para que comprendieran eso.
Because qualified teaching requires repetition.
Porque la maestría calificada requiere
And boldness and
repetición,
courage.
y requiere audacidad y valor, valentía.
Should Yeshua tarry, this will be common.
Si Yahshua aceptar esto será común.
Plural marriage.
El casamiento plural.
When I started teaching this, it was like, what are you doing, man?
Cuando comencé a enseñar, la gente decía, ¿qué está haciendo usted?
Now it's like, hey, I got good news, Shaliach. I've taken another wife. That's
Y
nice.
hoy son alegres nuevas y la gente me dice, oiga, Sholiach, le tengo nuevas alegres, ya tengo otra
And we have
esposa.
friends
Y tenemos
who
amigos
keep Torah.
que guardan Torah,
And they also believe in biblical marriage.
igual creen en el casamiento escritural.
So you have to harp on things when you're in the introductory stage. You have to. It's because we're in the introductory stage on this as we were on other restoration truths.
Así que uno tiene que repetir las cosas y enfatizarlas cuando uno está en esa etapa de restauración e introducción.
And I'm not dumb.
Y yo no soy tonto.
I'm a little bit slow in the head, but I'm not dumb.
Soy un poquito lento en la cabeza, pero no soy tonto.
I know that the silence
Yo sé que el silencio
means
quiere decir
lack of trust
hay
in
falta
what
de
I'm saying.
confianza en lo que estoy diciendo.
When people don't respond to it, people that I know for 20 years, they just lay low. I can't even get any response. I know what's going on. The enemy is fearing them out of the blessing.
Cuando la
They're
gente
getting
no
feared
responde
right out of the blessing.
y no dan un seguimiento, sé que la gente está con temor y que el enemigo los está haciendo retroceder en
That's
temor y les está evitando su bendición, su braga.
If the record of Joseph is the same thing as the Latter-day Saints,
Si el archivo de Yosef es lo mismo que los los santos de los últimos días,
then the New Testament is the same thing
entonces el Nuevo Testamento es lo mismo que
as praying to Mary
orar a María
and using rosary
y
beads.
usar los
Let's
rosarios.
use equal weights and measures
Usemos balanzas y medidas iguales,
because you're doing the same thing to them.
porque se está haciendo lo mismo con ellos.
So if you believe in the New Testament, you
Así
must
que,
have rosary beads.
si usted cree en
Just,
el Nuevo Testamento,
you must use rosary beads, right?
entonces tiene usted que usar los rosarios, ¿cierto?
You don't use rosary beads?
No usa usted
No,
los
you believe in the New
rosarios.
Testament.
Usted cree en el Nuevo
And
Testamento.
you believe the Book of Mormon was recorded by Yahweh in these last days.
¿Y
So
usted
you
cree?
must have red underwear and you must be a Freemason. Are you a
¿Y si
member of
usted
the
cree
lodge?
que
You must be a member of the lodge.
Si usted cree que el libro de Mormón
Read my lips, Bubba. I'd rather die than become a Mason. I'd rather kill myself and throw myself in Yahweh's mercy than become a Mason.
Lea mis labios. Yo prefiero
Is that plain enough for you?
que llegar a ser un masón.
My goodness. You made me angry. You shouldn't have made me angry.
Me enojaron.
Numbers 19.
No debían de haberme enojado.
Bamidbar 19.
Números 19.
Let's go quickly.
Vamos rápido.
Yahweh spoke to Moshe and Aaron, saying, "This is the ordinance of the Torah which Yahweh has commanded the children of Israel to bring a red heifer, a red cow, without blemish, where there is no defect, never came a yoke." Verse 3, no translation. "And you will bring it to Eleazar the Kohen, the high priest, that he may bring it out the camp, and will be slain before him. Eleazar the high priest will take the dam, the blood, with his fingers sprinkle the blood directly on the tabernacle of the congregation 7 times. Then another will will burn the red heifer in his sight. He will take the skin, the flesh, and the blood with the inward stuff and burn it." Verse 6. "And the Kohen will take cedar wood and hyssop," circle those words in verse 6, "cedar wood and hyssop, scarlet, and circle that, cast it into the midst of the burning of the heifer. Then the Kohen will wash his clothes, he will bathe, he will go out of the camp, and he will be unclean till evening. He that burns it will wash his clothes, he'll be unclean till evening." Verse 9, "A man who is clean at the end, when everybody has been unclean till evening, the next day a man who is clean will take up the ashes, put them aside in a clean place, and it will be kept to be used by the congregation of Israel as the waters, the ma'im of separation. It is the waters of separation and purification." Just verse 9. The water and the ashes,
Verso 9. El agua y las cenizas
taken to a clean place,
llevados a un lugar limpio,
put in pots,
puesto en vasijas,
and stored up,
guardado,
shall be for the separation,
será para la
the
purificación,
waters of separation
aguas
and
de
purification
purificación,
from
aguas de
all,
separación y purificación
from all sin.
de todo pecado.
The tabernacle
La tienda de Yahweh
had to be cleansed.
tuvo que ser
The
purificada.
vessels of ministry had to
Los
be cleansed.
contenedores del ministerio tenían que ser purificados.
The priest had to be cleansed.
Los ministros tenían que ser
As
purificados.
the ashes were mixed in together with the water.
Así como esas cenizas se mezclaban con el agua.
And then the priest
Y luego el ministro
would use the water of
usaba
separation
esta agua de apartación
for the rest of the people.
para el resto del pueblo.
These are the waters of separation.
Estas son las aguas de
These
separación.
are the waters of
Son
purification.
las aguas de purificación.
Please listen carefully.
Escuchen con mucho cuidado.
This was the entry point into Yahweh's presence.
Esto era lo que le ayudaba a uno a entrar a la presencia de Yahweh.
Without the waters of purification, you didn't just rush into His presence. You didn't rush into the tabernacle. You had to be pure before. It was the first step before you came
Sin
into.
esas aguas de purificación uno no podía correr entrando a la presencia de Yahweh. Tenía que tomarse ese primer paso de purificación con estas aguas con cenizas de la vaca a la sangre.
It was the entry point.
Era el punto de entrada.
And that's why this was the first miracle.
Y es por esto que este era el primer milagro.
Because before Yeshua can do all the other miracles,
Porque antes de que Yahshua pudiera hacer todos los otros milagros,
raising the dead,
levantar a los
walking on
muertos,
water,
caminar en el agua,
cleansing the leper,
purificar a los leprosos,
making righteous the whoremonger,
hacer sadiquim a los
he
fornicarios,
had to start
él tenía que comenzar
according to the pattern.
de acuerdo al patrón.
The pattern of Torah says you cannot do the work of the
El
ministry
patrón del Torah dice que uno no puede hacer la obra del ministerio
until you have waters of purification.
hasta que tenga esas aguas de purificación.
You follow me?
¿Entienden?
Yeshua could not start his ministry until he brought forth the waters of purification.
Yeshua no podía iniciar su ministerio hasta no traer esas aguas de purificación.
To remove sin and impurity.
Para quitar el pecado y la impureza.
But in order to do that,
pero para poder hacer eso,
you had to have a red heifer sacrifice.
Tenía que tener una ofrenda de vaca alazana.
Yeshua commenced the red heifer sacrifice.
Yeshua inició esa ofrenda de la vaca alazana
by having these pots
al tener estas vasijas
to purify his guests,
para purificar a sus invitados,
along with the governor.
Junto con el
And
gobernador.
the governor here is a type of the Ruach HaKodesh.
Y el gobernador aquí es un tipo de la Ruach HaKadosh.
Yeshua and the Ruach
Yeshua y la Ruach
had the water
tenían el agua
to purify the people.
para purificar al pueblo.
Yeshua became our Eliezer, or our high priest.
Se convirtió en nuestro Elazar o nuestro Cohen Hagadol, sumo ministro.
He would prepare his own body
Él prepararía su propio cuerpo
as the red heifer sacrifice.
como la ofrenda de la vaca
And remember, how much ministry can take place without the red heifer?
Y acuérdense, ¿cuánto ministerio puede tomar sin esa vaca alazana? Puede tomar
Couldn't
lugar.
start.
Ni siquiera puede iniciar.
And that's why the scripture says that the wedding in Cana of Galilee
Y es por eso que la escritura dice que la boda en Caná de Galileo
was where Yeshua first began to manifest his glory.
era donde primero Yeshua comenzó a manifestar su estima.
Because he knew that first things first.
Porque él sabía que las cosas principales son primero.
And the children of Israel, who are symbolized by the wedding guests,
Y los hijos de Israel, que son simbolizados por esos invitados de esa boda,
could not enter the wedding
no podían entrar a la boda
without being washed.
sin ser purificados.
Excuse me.
Perdónenme,
Does that sound familiar?
¿son eso familiar?
Revelation, the book of Revelation says, blessed are those who are invited to the supper of the Lamb.
El libro de Revelación dice, Baruch, benditos son aquellos que son invitados a las bodas del Cordero,
Who have washed their robes
quienes han lavado sus ropas
in the blood of the Lamb.
en la sangre del Cordero.
Yes?
¿Sí?
We cannot enter the marriage suppers of the
No
Lamb
podemos entrar a las bodas del Cordero
without first being
sin
purified
primero purificarnos
by the waters of the Lamb.
con las aguas del Cordero.
What does this have to do with Passover?
¿Y qué tiene esto que ver con la Pascua?
Is anyone enjoying?
¿Están gozando?
Is anyone enjoying?
¿Están gozándose?
What does this have to do with Passover?
¿Qué tiene esto que ver con la Pascua?
Everything.
Todo.
In Yochanan chapter 2 and in Numbers chapter 19,
En Juan capítulo 2 y en Números capítulo
we
19,
must have 4 elements present
tenemos que tener 4 elementos
to be
presentes
clean.
para ser purificados.
We must have the sacrifice
Tenemos que tener la ofrenda
of the red heifer.
de la vaca alazana.
Yeshua became our sacrifice.
Yeshua se convirtió en nuestra ofrenda.
He became our Passover lamb.
Él se convirtió en nuestro Cordero Pascual.
1 Corinthians 5, even as Yeshua, our Pesach, has been sacrificed for us.
Primera de Corintios capítulo 5, así como Yeshua, nuestro Cordero Pascual, ha sido purificado por nosotros.
But in verse, I believe it's 9,
Pero creo que es en el verso 9.
Bamidbar 19:9.
Números 19:9.
Let's see what is necessary.
Veamos lo que es necesario.
Go back to Bamidbar 19:6.
Regresemos a Bamidbar, Números 19, verso 6.
Elazar, the Kohen Hagadol, that's a type of Yeshua.
Elazar, el Cohen Hagadol, sumo ministro, que es un tipo de Yeshua.
Please underline this carefully.
Por favor, iluminen esto con mucho
Shall
cuidado.
take cedar wood.
Tomará madera de cedro.
That's the execution stage.
Ese es el árbol de ejecución.
We'll take hyssop.
Tomará hisopo.
That is the plant that is used to spread the blood on the door.
Esta es la planta que se usa para regar la dam, pintar la dam sobre la entrada, los
And
dinteles de la entrada.
the death of the heifer
Y la muerte de la vaca alazana
brings forth the scarlet,
trae la escarlata,
the blood.
la sangre, la
The
llama.
heifer is the korban.
La vaca es la ofrenda corbán.
Now let's see if we have that at Pesach.
Y veamos si eso lo tenemos en la Pascua.
We have the sacrifice of the lamb.
Tenemos la ofrenda del cordero,
That's the red heifer.
que esa es la vaca alazana.
We have the blood of the lamb.
Tenemos la dam, la sangre de ese cordero,
That's the red scarlet,
que ese es el escarlata.
blood of the animal.
La dam escarlata del
We have
animal.
the cedar wood
Tenemos la madera de
on
cedro
the doorposts of the homes
sobre los dinteles de las entradas de las casas
of Israel,
de Israel.
and they put the blood on the doorpost
Y ponían pintaban la sangre sobre los dinteles de las entradas
with a branch of hyssop.
con una rama de hisopo.
Very interesting.
Es muy interesante.
Now we're going to fast forward to the end of Yeshua's ministry.
Entonces en este momento vamos a avanzar al fin del ministerio de Yeshua.
Make no mistake about this.
Y no se equivoquen con respecto a
He
esto.
was cleansing and purifying the children of Israel for 3.5 years.
Él estaba purificando y lavando a los hijos de Israel por 3 años y medio.
And if he lived till 50,
Y si vivió hasta la edad de 50,
for 30 years.
por 30 años.
Some say 30 years.
Algunos dicen 30.
If he lived till 50.
Si es que vivió hasta los 50.
He began his cleansing work at the wedding of Cana.
Él inició su obra de purificación allí en esa boda de Canaán. Canaán.
And he finished the work
Y finalizó la obra
on the cedar wood
sobre la madera de cedro.
when he said it is finished.
Cuando dijo, ya se acabó.
What was finished?
¿Qué se acabó?
3.5 years
3 años y medio
or 30 years
o 30 años
of cleansing the people.
de purificar al pueblo.
We think of Yeshua just going to the tree
Nosotros solo nos imaginamos a Yahshua yendo al árbol
and dying.
y muriendo.
No.
Pero no.
He began to clean and to manifest his power to the people at the wedding in Cana.
Él comenzó a purificar y manifestar su pueblo al pueblo allí en esa boda en Canaán.
Now, where do we see that in Cana?
¿Y dónde vemos eso en
In
Canaán?
the wedding.
En la boda.
Why was that water? Why did the instructions of the red heifer
Porque fue que esa agua y las instrucciones de la vaca lazana
command that water be turned to wine?
instruían que esa agua se convirtiera en vino.
Because when he finished the cleaning process, how many know cleaning is a process?
Porque cuando él finalizó ese proceso de limpieza, ¿y cuántos de ustedes saben
Alright,
que la
darling,
limpieza
alright.
es un
Now,
proceso?
some of you right now are in that process.
Algunos de ustedes están en ese proceso.
And
En
if
este
you're not a single
momento.
bachelor,
Y si usted es una persona soltera,
and you have kinderlach, and you have a regular kindergarten in your house every day,
o si tienen niños, si tienen una escuela de kinder en su casa todos los yamim,
then you know that the cleansing, getting ready for Pesach,
entonces ustedes saben que la purificación y la preparación para la
or
Pascua
the Bidikat Hametz,
o la Birkat Hametz
it's not a 1 hour thing.
no es una cuestión de 60 minutos.
If you're a single bachelor,
Pero si usted es un hombre soltero,
or if you're on one of those bachelorettes
o si usted es una
from
soltera,
ABC television, then you won't have a lot of cleaning.
no va a tener mucha limpieza que hacer.
But Yeshua has millions and millions and millions, even billions of children that he's got to clean up.
Pero Yeshua tiene billones y millones de niños que él tiene que purificar.
And he that begun that good work in you will perform it until the day of Yeshua. He's been cleansing you. How old are you now? 38, 39, 60? He's still cleansing
La
us.
va a
This is
finalizar.
not a 2-minute job.
Y esto se requiere años. Esto no es una labor de 2 minutos.
Mr. Clean is got his hands full.
El Señor de
With
la
what? With
limpieza
you.
tiene sus manos llenas ¿con qué? Con usted
And with me.
y conmigo.
Mr. Clean.
El Señor
The only
limpieza.
difference between Mr. Clean and Yeshua is he doesn't have earrings and a bald head. But he is Mr. Clean.
Él es el Señor de la limpieza.
So what began in Yochanan chapter 2,
Entonces lo que empezó en Yohanan capítulo 2
we see completed in the red heifer
lo
sacrifice
vemos acabado en la ofrenda de la vaca alazana
of Yochanan 19.
de Juan 19.
So that in his death, burial, and resurrection,
Para que en su muerte, sepultura y resurrección,
Yahushua
Yeshua
was both the lamb
era ambos la oveja,
and
el cordero
the red heifer.
y la vaca alazana.
Let's go to Yochanan 19,
Vamos a Juan capítulo 19,
verse 28.
verso 28.
After this,
Después de
meaning
esto,
after 3.5 years, or some say 30,
quiere decir después de su tiempo de ministrar, ya
knowing
sean 3 años y
that
medio,
all the
30,
requirements of the Pesach
sabiendo que todos los requisitos de la Pascua
had been fulfilled,
se habían cumplido
and all the requirements of Numbers 19,
y todos los requisitos de Números capítulo
the
19,
red heifer,
la vaca alazana,
that the Katuv, the scripture, might be fulfilled,
que la Katub, la escritura se pudiera cumplir.
he says something weird.
Él dijo algo
I'm
extraño.
thirsty.
Dijo, tengo sed.
Yeshua says, I'm thirsty.
Yeshua dijo, tengo sed.
There's only one problem.
Solo hay un problema.
When they brought him the vinegar,
Que cuando le trajeron el
he
vinagre,
didn't drink it.
él no lo bebió.
So what's going on here?
Así que, ¿qué está pasando
Is he
aquí?
playing mind games?
¿Está jugando juegos de mente?
Is he manipulating people?
¿Está manipulando a la gente?
What's going on here?
¿Qué está pasando aquí?
Yeshua could not die
Yeshua no pudo morir
until the fourth element was brought forth.
hasta que ese cuarto elemento se trajera.
Was he bleeding?
¿Estaba él derramando su sangre?
Absolutely.
Claro que sí.
Was he on the cedar wood?
¿Estaba él sobre esa madera de cedro?
Absolutely.
Absolutamente que sí.
All the elements were present.
Todos los elementos estaban presentes.
Had he become the Lamb of Yah, who is now John 1:29, taking away the sins of the world?
Y si él se hubiera convertido en el Cordero de Yahuwah que vemos en Yohanan 1:29, quitando los pecados del mundo.
Escucha.
Oigan,
The Lamb was present.
el Cordero estaba presente.
The Son of Yah was bleeding for our sins.
El Hijo de Yahuwah estaba derramando su sangre por causa de nuestros pecados.
On the wood
Allí en esa madera
that would lead to life.
que conduciría a la vida.
What's missing?
¿Qué falta?
What's missing?
¿Qué falta?
The hyssop.
Falta el hisopo.
He wasn't calling for the vinegar.
Él no estaba pidiendo
He
vinagre,
was calling for the hyssop.
estaba pidiendo el hisopo.
Watch. That's why he refused the drink and received the hyssop.
Y es por eso que rechazó la bebida y aceptó el hisopo.
Watch.
Miren,
Verse 29.
verso 29.
And there was set a vessel full of vinegar,
Y estaba ahí una vasija llena de vinagre.
and they filled a sponge with vinegar
Y entonces llenaron una esponja con vinagre
because he called out for thirst.
porque había dicho que tenía sed.
And they put the sponge upon a
Y pusieron esa esponja sobre un hisopo.
He couldn't die.
Él no podía haber morido todavía.
He was the red heifer.
Él era la vaca alazana.
To be the red heifer
Para ser esa vaca alazana
and to produce water that purifies,
y para producir agua purificadora
you have to have all four
se
elements.
tienen que tener esos 4 elementos.
When he had received the hyssop
Cuando había recibido el hisopo
and the vinegar, which he refused, by the
y
way,
el vinagre que y decimos que él aquí vemos que él rechazó,
verse 30.
verso 30,
See, he put it up, he lifted it to his mouth,
ven que se le acercaron a su boca,
but he didn't drink it.
pero no bebió.
Look at verse 30.
Miren el verso 30.
Then Yeshua had received the hyssop
Y Yeshua hubo tomado
And the
el
sponge
vinagre, la esponja, el hisopo
with vinegar,
con vinagre.
and watch this.
Y miren esto.
John 19:30.
Yohanan 19:30.
He said in Greek, telestai.
Él dijo en el griego
It is
telestia.
finished.
Ya se acabó.
He said in Aramaic,
Dijo en el arameo.
kala, or
Kalá.
in Hebrew.
O en el
Go
hebreo.
home later. Don't go home now, please. Go home later
Después, cuando se vayan a casa,
and look up the word kala
busquen la palabra
in a
kalá
Hebrew dictionary.
en un diccionario hebreo.
And this is what you'll find.
Y esto es lo que van a encontrar.
Finished.
Acabado.
Complete.
Acabado completo.
But in that same dictionary, you'll find that the word kala can also mean bride.
Pero en ese mismo diccionario pueden ver que kalá igual quiere decir novia.
Even when he's dying, he's in control.
Aún cuando está él muriendo, él está en control.
And he says kala,
Y él dijo kalá,
one word,
una palabra,
meaning
queriendo
it
decir,
is finished,
ya se acabó, consumado
my
es,
bride.
novia mía.
What's finished?
¿Qué se acabó?
He began to cleanse his bride in Cana
Él comenzó a purificar a su novia en Caná
and finished cleaning his
y
bride
acabó de purificar a su novia
on the tree.
ahí en el árbol.
That's why Mary said, I don't know what he's doing, but just listen to him.
Y es por eso que Miriam dijo, yo no sé lo que está haciendo,
This
pero
is a
escúchenlo.
process.
Esto es un proceso.
What started at the wedding
Lo que inició en la boda
ended with him inviting his bride,
acabó con él invitando a su esposa,
saying, now you
a
can
su
come
novia, diciendo, puedes venir
to my wedding.
a mi boda.
Now you can come to my wedding
Ya puedes tú llegar a mi boda,
because the preparation of cleansing.
porque la preparación de
I am
purificación.
both the lamb and the red heifer.
Yo soy ambos, el cordero y la vaca alazana.
Is finished.
Ya se acabó.
I'm both.
Soy ambos.
Now you can come
Y ya puedes
to the
acercarte
marriage supper of the
a
Lamb.
las bodas del cordero.
Now, in the King James, he cried out, it's finished. Whoa! What? But in Hebrew,
En el inglés o en el español dice consumado es, pero en el hebreo
is the master in control.
Él es el maestro que está en control.
One word that in Hebrew is both bride
Una palabra que en ambos hebreo es novia
and finish.
y que quiere decir finalizado, consumado,
So
acabado.
if you say I'm done, anikala,
Así que cuando uno acaba de hacer algo dice anikala,
same word.
la misma
Keep your
palabra.
finger there, go to Tehillim 69:21. Tehillim
Guarden ahí
69:21.
esa página, pero vayan a Salmos,
The book of Psalms
Tehilim
69:21.
69:21.
Hallelujah. Is anyone enjoying?
¿Están gozándose?
Pesach is coming up, brothers and sisters.
Salmo 69:21.
It's a mighty work that we're going to be celebrating.
Ya viene la Pascua y es una obra maravillosa la que estamos celebrando.
Tehillim, Psalm 69:21.
Tehilim, Salmo 69:21.
They gave me Gaul, a messianic prophecy written 1000 BC.
Esta es una profecía hebrea escrita, bueno,
1000.
1000 años antes de el tiempo común.
They gave me gall for my food,
Me dieron hiel por comida
and in my thirst
y en mi sed
they gave me vinegar
me dieron a beber vinagre.
to drink. Here Yeshua is prophesying
Aquí Yahshua está profetizando
that when he was dying,
que cuando él estuviera muriendo,
that he would be given vinegar, not for the vinegar, but to get the hyssop and finish the red heifer sacrifice.
que a él le darían vinagre, no para el vinagre, pero para poder recibir el hisopo y completar esa ofrenda de la vaca alazana.
And if you read Psalm 69 in its entirety, you'll see
Y si leen el capítulo entero de 69 de Salmos, verán
it's a messianic psalm.
que es un tejido, un salmo
So
mesiánico.
the 6 jars represent 6,000 years of that needed to be cleansed.
Entonces esas 6 tinajas de piedra representan 6000 años necesarios para purificación,
By both water and wine.
con ambos agua y vino.
The water and the wine were separate,
El agua y el vino estaban separados,
but in Yeshua
pero en Yahshua
they become echad,
se hacen uno,
because he's both the blood of the lamb
porque él es ambos la sangre del cordero
and the water of the red heifer,
y el agua de la vaca alazana,
sprinkled with ashes, burned. They burned the red heifer. They took the ashes and they mixed it into the water.
regada con las cenizas de la ofrenda de la vaca alazana mezcladas en el agua.
You see, he could have gotten wine from anywhere.
Ven que él pudo obtener vino de donde quiera.
Could Yeshua have snapped his finger
Pudo haber Yahshua sonado sus dedos
and gotten wine?
y haber obtenido
The same way
vino.
he rained down manna, could he have rained down wine?
De la misma manera que llovió maná, ¿pudo haber llovido vino?
Of course.
Claro que
So
sí.
why did he need those 6 water pots?
Entonces, ¿para qué necesitaba esas 6 tinajas de agua?
Because in him is both the final lamb
Porque en él están ambos el cordero final
and the final red heifer.
y la vaca alazana final.
They become one. They're all fulfilled in one person.
Los dos se cumplen en una sola
Korban,
persona,
one korban.
en un corbán, una ofrenda corbán.
And 6 pots,
Y 6 tinajas,
every filth and abomination
toda inmundicia y
from
abominación.
Adam past Adam and Enoch,
Desde Adán y pasando a
before
Enoch,
Moses,
antes de Moshe,
after Moses.
después de Moshe,
6,000 years got cleaned up over the course of his ministry.
6000 años de inmundicia se purificaron en el transcurso de su ministerio.
Why weren't there 5 water pots?
¿Por qué no habían 5 tinajas de agua?
Why weren't there 3 water
¿Por
pots?
qué no habían 3 tinajas de agua?
Because the kingdom is coming in the 7,000th year.
Porque el reino llega en el año 7000.
He didn't show his glory.
Él no enseñó su resplandor.
What does it say?
¿Qué dice?
It was the first miracle,
Dice que era el primer milagro.
and he began to manifest his glory, and his glory is manifested through his cleansing power!
Y él comenzó a manifestar su estima a través de su poder de purificación.
Because no other Elohim can manifest glory by cleansing that which cannot be clean.
Porque
You
ningún
and me
otro
cannot be clean.
puede manifestar su estima a través de algo que no puede ser purificado. Usted y yo no
That's why
podemos ser
Yahweh
purificados.
designed us to smell and take showers and baths every day to remind us who we are without His cleansing.
Y es por eso que Yahweh nos creó con la necesidad de ser bañados y purificados cada yom para enseñarnos quiénes somos realmente y por qué necesitamos su purificación.
But that's not all.
Pero eso no es
Go
todo.
with me to Yochanan Aleph
Vayan conmigo a primera de Juan
5:6.
5:6.
Can we get more confirmation?
¿Podemos obtener más confirmación?
Oh, absolutely.
Claro que sí.
Absolutely.
Claro que sí.
Yochanan Aleph,
Primera de Juan,
chapter 5,
capítulo 5,
verses 6 through 9.
versos 6 a 9.
1 John,
Primera de Juan.
I love this. Now, don't miss this now.
Y no se pierdan esto, por favor.
5,
Capítulo 5,
6 through 9.
6 a 9.
The wedding in Cana.
La boda en Caná.
This is the red heifer and the Passover lamb
Esta es la vaca lazana y el cordero pascual
that came to Israel
que vino a Israel
by Mayim
a través del agua
and by dam,
y la sangre.
water and blood.
Agua y sangre.
Even Yeshua HaMashiach,
Aún Yahshua el Mesías,
who did not just come by the waters represented at the wedding in Cana,
que no solo vino a través de aguas representadas allí en la boda en Caná,
but by water and blood.
sino que a través de agua y sangre.
Verse 7.
Verso 7.
This is the very Ruach
Esta es esa misma Ruach
that bears witness,
que da testimonio,
and the Ruach is emes.
porque la Ruach es cierta.
1 John 5:8.
Primera es de Juan 5:8.
Now, in some Bibles, this is used to twist it to try to show that there's a Trinity.
Y en algunas Biblias esto se usa para torcerse y enseñar que hay una Trinidad.
But in the original language,
Pero en el lenguaje
it
original
reads like this:
se lee así:
the Spirit,
la Ruach, el Espíritu,
the Mayim,
el
the
agua
water, and the dam.
y la dam, la sangre.
These three agree
Estos tres acuerdan
as echad.
como uno.
Let's read that again.
Leámoslo de nuevo.
The Holy Spirit,
La Ruach HaKadosh, el Espíritu
the
apartado,
water of
el
Yeshua,
agua de Yahushua,
which is literal and figurative, the Ruach,
que es literalmente y figurativamente la Ruach,
and
el
the blood,
Espíritu,
which is literal.
y la sangre, que es literal.
These three
Estos tres
are the three
son los
witnesses
tres testigos
and agree.
y están de
These
acuerdo.
three witnesses
Estos tres testigos
form an echad witness.
forman un testigo unánime.
And if we receive the witness of the good news as is preached by men,
Y si recibimos el testigo de los hombres proclamados por los hombres,
the witness of Yahuwah
el testimonio de Yahuwah
is greater.
es mayor.
And what is the witness of Yahuwah?
¿Y cuál es el testimonio de Yahuwah?
The water
El agua
turned to wine
transformada en vino
by the power of the Ruach.
por el poder de la
All
Ruach.
three witnesses were at that wedding.
Los tres testigos estaban allí en esa boda.
Holy. Oh my God. All three witnesses.
Esos tres testigos,
The water,
el agua,
the blood,
la llama, la
and the
sangre
Ruach that did the work,
y la Ruach que hizo la obra,
they were all at that wedding.
estaban todos allí en esa boda.
And yes, brethren, they were all at the tree.
Y sí, fraternos, todos los tres estaban allí en el árbol.
And I'm going to show you something else.
Y les voy a enseñar otra
Go
cosa.
with me back to Yochanan,
Regresen conmigo de nuevo al libro de Juan.
the best Torah according to Yochanan.
Es el Evangelio de Juan.
Baruch Hashem Yahu.
Exaltado sea Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahu.
Exaltado sea Yahweh.
Yochanan 19.
Juan 19.
Now, let's hope here we can find it.
Esperemos que lo podamos encontrar.
Well, if I read my notes, you could really find it.
Si leo mis notas lo encuentro.
And then you don't got to look like a fool. Just read the notes, man.
Lea sus
All right, verse 34.
Verso 34.
But one of the soldiers with a spear,
Pero uno de los soldados con una lanza
pierced his side.
le abrió el costado.
Stay with me.
Y manténganse conectados.
Instantly,
Instantáneamente.
turn to your neighbor and say instantly.
Díganle a su prójimo
Turn to your
instantáneamente.
neighbor, I'll be your neighbor.
Digan instantáneamente.
Instantly,
Instantáneamente.
instantly
Instantáneamente.
came out dam
Procedió dam, sangre.
and mayim.
Y mayim, agua.
And verse 35, the Ruach in John
Y en el verso 35, la Ruach en Yohanan
bore witness
dio testimonio.
This witness is emet.
Este testigo es cierto.
So when he dies and he fulfills the cleansing
Así que cuando él muere y cumple la purificación,
as a high priest
como Cohen Hagadol, sumo ministro
of renewed covenant Israel,
del Israel del convenio renovado,
it's confirmed.
se confirma.
Watch this.
Miren,
The blood and the water come out of his side.
que la sangre y el agua vienen de su costado.
Simultaneously,
Simultáneamente,
instantly, as
instantáneamente,
a high.
como uno.
Yeshua
Yeshua
is the seventh pot.
es la séptima vasija.
7 in scripture
7 en la escritura.
symbolizes perfect peace, shalom, and the millennial
El
kingdom.
7 en la escritura simboliza la tranquilidad perfecta en el reino milenial.
When the blood comes
Cuando procede el agua
from Yeshua's side,
y la sangre del costado de
the
Yeshua,
water comes,
viene el agua.
the Holy Spirit is there to bear witness
Ahí está la ruach, el espíritu de Yahweh, para dar
in
testimonio.
fulfillment of 1 John 5, 7, or 8 that we just read.
En cumplimiento de 1 de Juan 5, 6 a 8 que acabamos de leer.
Again, I bring to your attention that all the elements are required.
Y una vez más les hago notar que todos los elementos que se requieren en esta ofrenda están presentes como
The
requeridos.
lamb and the heifer are on the tree.
El cordero, la vaca y la asna están sobre el árbol.
The blood and the water come out from his side.
El agua y la llama vienen de su costado.
The cedar wood is the tree.
La madera del cedro es el árbol.
One thing was missing, he couldn't die yet, and he called for it.
Y una cosa faltaba y se necesitaba y la pidió.
He was so high up
Él estaba ahí tan alto
that they couldn't get the vinegar
que no podían darle el vinagre
without the hyssop.
sin el hisopo.
Now everything is ready.
Entonces ya todo estaba listo
And he laid down his life.
y ahí rindió su vida.
This guy is orchestrating the entire work going on. He's dying and
Este
he's in
hombre
control. So who is
está-
Adonai? Who is Yahweh? Yeshua is in control even in the process of the work of salvation.
Este varón está en ese proceso de morir, está
Aleluya.
orquestando todo este procedimiento de purificación aún
He's
en
the
el
director.
proceso de morir. Está dirigiendo cada paso, cada detalle.
He's the director.
Él es el director.
He's the orchestrator.
Él es el que está orquestando.
Everybody
todo.
thinks that he's calling for vinegar, but they don't know that when they run with the vinegar, they're fulfilling Numbers 19. When they run with the vinegar, they're fulfilling Numbers 19 and Psalm 69. They have no idea. They're little puppets. They're little chess pieces.
Cuando Él está pidiendo agua, ellos piensan, oh, quiere agua, pero ellos no comprenden que Él está orquestando y está cumpliendo las profecías que vemos en Salmos 69 y en Números 19. Ellos piensan que ellos están en control, pero en realidad Él es el director y ellos son solo piezas y títeres.
A couple more things, and we are going to start a new message.
Un par de cosas
Go back
nuevas
with me to Numbers.
y iniciamos un mensaje nuevo.
19.
Regresen conmigo a Números
Turn to
19.
yourself and say, I'm not hungry.
Voltees a sí mismo y dígase,
I need
yo
the
no
word
tengo
more than
hambre.
I need that stuff. Come on
Necesito
now.
más de la palabra que comida.
Numbers 19.
Números 19,
Numbers 19:3. A couple of things I want to
verso
point out to
3.
you.
Y un par de cosas que les quiero señalar.
Eleazar the Cohen presides over the sacrifice
El Azar, el ministro, preside sobre la ofrenda
outside the camp,
fuera del campamento
and one shall slay it.
y uno lo degollará.
But notice,
Pero noten
Aaron is still alive.
que Aarón sigue vivo.
Notice that Eliezer
Noten que el Azar
is a priest.
es un ministro.
He's not the high priest.
Él no es el Cohen Hagadol,
But he oversaw the red heifer sacrifice.
pero él supervisó la ofrenda de la vaca lazana.
He would become the high priest when his daddy died.
Él se convertiría en el sumo ministro cuando muriera su papá.
This is beautifully foreshadowing
Y esto está preciosamente
that in the time of Yeshua, the final red heifer,
señalando que en el tiempo de Yahshua, la vaca lazana,
there was a man who was not the high priest,
había un hombre que no era el Cohen Hagadol,
Caiaphas,
Caifás,
who had 2 wives, by
que
the way.
tenía 2 esposas además de
Caiaphas was not a descendant of Aaron.
Caifás no era descendiente de Aarón.
I'll say that again.
Lo diré de nuevo.
Caiaphas was not a descendant of Aaron.
Caifás no era descendiente de Aarón.
He was not a legitimate high priest.
Él no era un sumo ministro legítimo.
He was a political appointee.
Él era un apuntado político.
And just like Eleazar was not the high
Y
priest,
así como Eleazar no era el Cohen Hagadol, el sumo ministro,
neither was the fulfillment,
tampoco fue ese cumplimiento
Caiaphas.
de Caifás.
Now look at verse 3.
Vean el verso 3.
The sacrifice, when it was finished,
Esa ofrenda, cuando fue finalizada,
when it was done,
cuando se cumplió,
it was done outside the camp.
se hizo fuera del campamento.
Verse 3.
Verso 3.
Stop.
Pare ahí.
You could not kill the red heifer in the tabernacle.
No podía morir esa vaca alazana dentro
You
del
would-
templo
like
de
a daily
Yahweh,
sacrifice.
como las ofrendas de cada yom.
You cannot kill the red heifer in the tabernacle.
La vaca alazana no podía morir dentro del templo de Yahweh.
You had to prepare the waters of purification
Las aguas de purificación se tenían que preparar
and then bring the water into the tabernacle, into the vessels, and amongst the camp.
fuera del templo, fuera del campamento, y después, una vez que estuviera lista el agua, se podía introducir de nuevo al campamento.
So we see here that it had to be sacrificed
Entonces vemos que esa ofrenda tenía que hacerse
outside the camp.
fuera del campamento.
Go with me to Hebrews 12:12.
Vayan conmigo al libro de Hebreos 12:12.
Hebrews 12:12.
Hebreos 12:12.
I preached this in 1999,
Este mensaje lo proclamé en
and it says
1999
good today as it was then.
y es tan excelente hoy como lo era
It's
entonces.
as exciting today as it was then.
Es tan excitante hoy como lo fue entonces.
Hebrews 12
Hebreos capítulo 12,
and verse 12.
verso 12.
Praise Yahweh that we can sit under this kind of truth
Exaltado sea Yahweh que podemos sentarnos bajo este tipo de realidad,
as we press forward to new truth,
así como avanzamos a realidades nuevas,
hidden in various places
escondidas en varios lugares,
in the earth.
en la tierra.
People say, I accept the book of Jubilees and Enoch, some people, even though it was hidden in the earth.
Alguna gente dice, yo acepto el libro de Jubileos y el libro de Enoch, aunque hayan estado escondidos en la tierra.
And who hid it in the earth?
¿Y quién lo escondió en la tierra?
Unbelievers.
Incrédulos.
Probably those who were not followers of Yeshua.
Quizás aquellos que no eran seguidores de Yeshua.
But then when we have another record that's hidden in the earth,
Pero luego cuando encontramos otro archivo escondido en la
it's
tierra,
translated by a believer
traducido por un creyente,
who brings it out and he's a brother,
que lo introduce y es un fraterno,
we think it's of the devil.
pensamos que es del diablo,
Because we've been completely brainwashed.
porque hemos sido completamente lavados del
And we see
cerebro
the ugliness of religion
y vemos la fealdad de la religión,
that claimed those books.
que reclamó esos libros,
And we throw the baby out with the
y
bathwater.
tiramos al bebé junto con el agua de bañarse.
Hebrews
Hebreos
13,
capítulo 13,
12.
verso 12.
Hebrews 13, 12.
Hebreos capítulo 13, verso 12.
Don't miss this, please.
No se pierdan esto, por favor.
For the body, okay, I'm sorry, let's go back to verse 11.
Perdonen, vamos al verso 11.
For the bodies of the beasts whose blood is brought into the Kadosh place
Porque los cuerpos de aquellos animales que fueron traídos al lugar Kadosh
by Kohen Hagadol
por el Cohen, el sumo ministro,
are burned outside the camp.
son quemados fuera del campamento.
But I remind you, this sacrifice was done by a priest.
Pero les recuerdo que esta ofrenda fue hecha por un ministro, Cohen.
Therefore, Yeshua also,
Por lo tanto, Yeshua de igual
under
manera,
Caiaphas, a priest,
bajo Caifás el ministro,
not
sumo
truly
ministro,
a son of Aaron.
no realmente un hijo de Aharón,
Also not a high priest because he wasn't a son of Aaron.
y tampoco era un sumo ministro porque no era hijo de
To
Aharón.
be a high priest, you have to be a son of Aaron.
Para ser un Cohen a Hagadol, uno tiene que haber sido hijo de Aharón.
Yeshua, that he might, don't miss this please, that he might cleanse or set apart the people
Yeshua, para poder apartar, purificar al pueblo
with his own blood,
con su propia
with his own water
con su propia
that
agua
came out of his side,
que procedió de su costado,
with the cedar wood,
con la madera del
with the blood of
cedro,
the lamb and the heifer,
con la sangre del cordero y de la vaca alazana,
with all the requirements needed to fulfill both Exodus 12 and Numbers 19,
con todos los componentes necesarios para cumplir Éxodo 12 y Números 19.
he died
Él murió
and suffered
y sufrió
outside the camp.
fuera del campamento.
You think it's an accident
¿Creen que eso fue
that
accidental?
Yeshua died outside the camp?
Que Yahshua hubiera muerto fuera del campamento.
Brothers and sisters,
Fraternos y
it
fraternas.
was all planned.
Todo fue planeado.
It was all planned.
Todo fue planeado.
Yeshua didn't die in the temple.
Yahshua no murió dentro del templo.
Yeshua didn't, Can I help you?
¿Le puedo ayudar?
Now you're really going to give me owe me chocolate kisses
Aquí
when
me
I
van a
finish
deber
this.
besos de chocolate.
They have tour guides who take tourists to Israel and they charge them an arm and a leg plus $6,000 plus an arm and a leg.
Tienen guías turísticos que los llevan por todo Israel cobrándoles $6,000 más el brazo y la pierna.
And they say, this is where he died.
Y dicen, aquí murió él.
Where?
¿En dónde?
Right there. You see the
Ahí,
hole?
ve
What
ese
hole?
hoyo. ¿Qué hoyo?
Right there, there's a
Ahí.
star. It looks like the star of Bethlehem.
Ahí hay una estrella, ¿ves? Se ve como la estrella de Bethlehem.
The tour guide says, la mata. That means down.
Y el guía turista dice,
Vito la mata. Look down.
Vito lo mata, ve ahí abajo.
That's Gordon's Calvary? Yes, brother.
Ese es el Calvario
The
de
Lord Jesus Christ
Sí, Señor. El Señor Jesucristo
died on Gordon's Calvary.
murió en el Calvario de
Because everybody
Gordon.
knows
Porque todo el mundo
that the
sabe
Church of the Holy Sepulchre
que la iglesia del Sepulcro Santo
is not where the Master died.
no es donde murió el Maestro,
It's Gordon's Calvary.
sino que en el Calvario de Gordón.
So now that you know better,
Así que ya lo que lo entienden,
you say to that guy who's charging you $6,000 plus an arm and a leg,
usted le dice a ese varón que le está cobrando $6,000 más la pierna y el brazo,
Mr. Mordecai,
oiga, Mr. Mordecai,
Mr. Levi,
señor Levi,
Kimarai,
venga aquí.
Igvir Doses is over. I want to tell you something.
Le quiero decir algo.
Is this hole
¿Es este hoyo
that you're showing
que
me
usted me está enseñando?
inside the wall or outside the wall?
¿Está dentro o fuera de la pared?
Is it in the camp
¿Está dentro del
or is it
campamento
outside the
o
camp?
está fuera del campamento?
It's inside.
Está dentro.
It's inside the city.
Está dentro de la ciudad.
What does Hebrews say?
¿Qué dice Hebreos?
Hebrews 13
Hebreos 13.
says Yeshua died and suffered outside the gates of Jerusalem.
Dice que Yahshua murió y sufrió
Give me
fuera
my money.
de las paredes de
I want a
Jerusalén.
refund.
Regréseme mi dinero. Yo quiero un reembolso. Y deme mi mano y mi brazo
Some
y
of you
mi
spent
pierna.
over 5 years $20,000
And
going to
my
Israel.
leg and my arm too.
And what'd you get for your $20,000? You got a hole in the ground.
¿Y qué recibieron de su vida, de su tour a Israel? Un hoyo allí en el
Not
suelo.
only that, they showed you Mount Zion. Remember when they took you to Mount Zion? That was also a tourist trap. That is not the Mount Zion. The Mount Zion is the Mount of Olives and Mount Moriah.
Y tampoco el monte Sión es el monte Sión, ni el monte Moriah era el monte Moriah.
So they had you looking in a hole,
Así que lo tenían viendo ahí un hoyo.
and then they took you to the upper room on Mount
Y
Zion.
luego lo llevaron
I'm sorry, to Mount Zion.
al monte Sión.
That's not the real Mount Zion.
Ese no es el real monte
The
Sión.
real Mount Zion is Mount Moriah.
El monte Sión es el monte Moriah.
Where they took you was in the southwest corner, the Armenian quarter of Jerusalem. They took you into the southern corner instead of on Mount Moriah, which is really Mount Zion.
A usted lo llevaron al lugar equivocado, que es en la parte del sur de la ciudad, no en el monte
The
Moriah.
scripture says Yahweh dwells in Zion,
La escritura dice
not
que
in the
Yahweh
corner next to the wall in the south.
mora en el monte Sión, no ahí en la esquina hacia el sur.
The temple's not going to be rebuilt in the corner inside the walls,
El
in the
templo
southern, inside one of the southern gates.
No va a ser edificado al lado de una de las entradas hacia el sur.
Now watch this
Y miren esto,
as we close.
al cerrar.
Where, if the red heifer sacrifice
Si la ofrenda de la vaca de la sana
had to take place
tuvo que tomar lugar
outside the camp,
fuera del campamento,
and it wasn't Gordon's Calvary,
y no era en el Calvario de Gordón,
and it wasn't the church of
y
the
no
Holy
era la
Sepulchre,
iglesia del Santo Sepulcro,
so where is Calvary?
así que ¿dónde está el Calvario?
Where is Calvary?
¿En dónde está el Calvario?
Where's Calvary? From the Mount of Olives
Del Monte de los Olivos
to the Temple Mount,
al Monte del Templo,
there was what they call the priestly bridge.
allí había un puente para los ministros.
That was a type of Yeshua,
Ese era un tipo de
who
Yahshua
will live in Zion
que vivía en Sion.
He is the way, the truth, and the life.
Él es el camino, la realidad y la vida.
But in order to get to Mount Zion or Mount Moriah, where the millennial temple will stand,
Pero para poder llegar al monte Sion o al monte Moriah, donde va a estar el templo de
we
Yahuwah,
have to cross the bridge.
tiene uno que pasar ese puente.
When they killed the red heifer
Cuando mataban a
on
la
the
vaca
Mount of
campesina
Olives,
en el monte de los olivos,
outside the gate,
fuera de las entradas de
outside
la
the
ciudad,
eastern gate,
fuera de la entrada oriental,
they would take the ashes
tomaban esas cenizas
into the temple,
al templo,
wash it,
la lavaban,
Cleanse the altar.
purificaban el altar,
cleanse the basin,
purificaban las vasijas,
cleanse the pots,
purificaban las ollas,
cleanse the utensils,
purificaban los
because
utensilios,
Yeshua died on Golgotha.
porque Yahshua murió en
The
Gólgota.
Hebrew word Golgotha means the skull,
La palabra hebrea Gólgota quiere decir la calavera,
not skeleton.
no un esqueleto,
Skull.
pero la tapa de la
In
cabeza.
Hebrew, the skull of the mountain is the summit.
En hebreo, la calavera
The
o
summit.
la cima
Where
de
is
la
your
montaña es la cima.
Where is your
¿En
summit?
dónde está su cima?
Right here.
Aquí,
He died on
sobre
the
su cabeza,
summit
sobre la calavera
of the Mount of
del
Olives.
monte de los olivos.
Where was he arrested?
¿En dónde fue arrestado?
On the Mount of
En
Olives.
el monte de los olivos.
Where was the final supper?
¿En dónde fue la cena final?
On the Mount of
Sobre el
Olives.
monte de los olivos.
And he was tried inside the camp,
Y él fue juzgado dentro del campamento
taken back to the summit
y fue llevado de nuevo a la calavera,
Or
a
the
la
skull
cima de la
of the
montaña,
Mount of Olives.
la calavera del monte de los
And
olivos.
if these other four items were performed
Y
perfectly,
si estas otras cuatro componentes se hicieron
where did
perfectamente,
Yeshua prophetically have to die?
¿en dónde fue que Yahshua tuvo que morir proféticamente?
Go online.
Vaya en línea.
Those of you who are online now have an added benefit.
A ustedes que están
You
ya
have a
en
head
línea,
start.
tienen un inicio adelantado.
Type in,
Teclen.
where was the red heifer sacrifice?
¿En dónde se ofrecía la vaca lazana?
In ancient Israel.
En el Israel antiguo.
You know where?
¿Saben dónde?
Golgotha,
En Gólgota,
the skull
en la calavera
of the Mount of Olives.
del monte de los olivos.
That's where Yeshua died.
Ahí es donde murió Yahshua,
Outside the eastern gate.
fuera de la entrada
I'll
oriental.
prove it to you again.
Y se los compruebo de nuevo.
There was a centurion
Había un centurión
at the tree,
ahí al árbol,
the tree of sacrifice.
el árbol de la ofrenda.
When Yeshua died, the Hekel gate swung open,
Cuando murió Yahshua, la entrada del Hekel se abrió
and the veil into the Holy of Holies
y el lugar, el velo que introducía a la gente al lugar más apartado
was torn.
se rompió.
Rent.
Se rompió.
Now, how did they know?
¿Cómo sabían
And then he
ellos?
says, surely this is the Son of Yahweh.
Y dijeron, ciertamente este es el hijo de Yahweh.
They were able to see into the temple
Ellos pudieron ver dentro del templo
and see the veil
y ver ese velo
rent
roto
and the Nicanor doors leading to the holy place swing open
y las entradas de Nicanor se abrieron solas
and the curtain
y la cortina
to the Holy of Holies
al lugar apartado
rent in two.
se rompió en dos.
Everybody saw it.
Todo el mundo lo vio.
Yes?
¿Sí?
In order to see west,
Para poder ver hacia el occidente,
to see the curtain being torn,
para ver esa cortina romperse,
you must be standing east.
uno tiene que estar parado al
I'll say that
oriente.
again.
Y lo diré de
In order
nuevo.
to see west
Para poder ver hacia el
into
occidente,
the temple
adentro del
and see the
templo,
curtain being
y
torn,
ver esa cortina
the
romperse,
sacrifice and the suffering must be in the east.
la ofrenda y el sufrimiento están tomando lugar
On the
al
Mount of
oriente,
Olives,
sobre el monte de los
where
olivos,
all 9 red heifers have been sacrificed.
donde todas las 9 vacas lazanas han sido ofrecidas.
Check this out.
Y vea esto.
Didn't Hebrews say he must suffer outside the gate?
¿Qué nos dijo en Hebreos que él tenía que
Not
ser
inside the gate?
fuera de las entradas de la ciudad, no adentro de la ciudad?
Check this out.
Vean esto.
In the history of Israel,
En la historia de
there
Israel,
have only been 9 red heifers.
solo han existido 9 vacas alazanas.
Yeshua is a 10th.
Yahshua es la 10ª.
Since Yeshua died,
Desde que murió Yahshua,
there's been no red heifer.
no ha habido una vaca alazana.
He was the last red
Él
heifer.
fue la
Why?
última vaca alazana. ¿Por qué?
10 in Scripture
Porque el número 10 en la escritura
is a symbol
es un símbolo
of judgment.
de juicio.
10 plagues.
10 plagas,
10 tribes
10
were
tribus
judged by Yahweh.
fueron juzgados por Yahweh.
10.
10.
He is Israel's final 10th red heifer.
Él es la última vaca alazana de Israel.
In the history of Israel, there were only 9.
En la historia de Israel solo había 9.
Check this out.
Vea esto.
The temple was built, the wilderness tabernacle was built in 1500 BC.
El templo en el desierto se edificó en
Then
5900 BC.
the temple,
He said
1500 years.
15,000 años.
You needed a red heifer.
Necesitaban una vaca alazana.
From the wilderness tabernacle
1500 años y desde la azúcar en el
to Solomon's
desierto
temple,
hasta el templo de Shlomo,
500 years.
500
From
años.
Solomon's temple
Desde el templo de Salomón
till it was destroyed by the Romans, the second temple, 70 CE.
hasta que fue destruido este segundo templo en el tiempo de los romanos, 70 de la era común,
1500 years.
1500 años.
The rabbis tell us
Los rabinos nos dicen
that the waters
que las aguas
were supposed to last.
estaban supuestas a
They were
durar,
set apart
fueron
and
apartadas
they were used
y se usaban
over and over and over again.
vez tras vez tras
They were
vez, tras
mixed.
vez, se mezclaban
And they were used
y se usaban
over and over again.
vez tras vez tras
The
vez.
rabbis have recorded
Los rabinos han grabado
9 red heifers.
9 vacas alazanas.
Yeshua became the 10th.
Yahshua se hizo la décima
One more proof.
y una prueba más.
Matter of fact, 2 more proofs.
Es más, 2
Can I
pruebas.
give you 2 more
Les
proofs?
puedo dar 2 pruebas
Now you can
más.
prove, Brother Terry, that Yeshua died on the Mount of
Y hoy
Olives. Now you can prove it.
Terry puede
And I'm going to
comprobar
give you more ammunition.
que Yahshua murió en el monte de los olivos y le voy a dar más amunición.
If you're inside the city,
Si usted se encuentra dentro de la
how can you
ciudad,
see what's happening on the Temple Mount?
¿cómo puede verse lo que está pasando en el monte del templo?
There are walls
Ahí hay paredes
blocking your view
bloqueando su vista.
if you're in the city.
Si uno
You
está en la
can
ciudad,
only see into the temple
solo se puede ver dentro del
if
templo.
you're outside the city,
Si uno está fuera de la
not
ciudad,
in the city.
no dentro de
Looking
la
up, you're
ciudad.
not going to see it
Viendo hacia arriba no se va a ver,
because there are walls that are blocking your view.
porque hay paredes que están bloqueando su vista.
Go with me to Zechariah 14.
Vayan conmigo a Zacarías
And this is
14.
not in my notes.
Y esto no está en mis notas.
Zechariah 14.
Zacarías 14.
Zechariah 14.
Zacarías 14.
Zechariah 14.
14.
Hallelujah. Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. It's exciting.
Esto es excitante.
Zechariah 14.
Zacarías 14.
Where's Yeshua returning?
¿A dónde está regresando Yahshua?
Verse 4.
Verso 4.
His feet will stand in that yom
Sus pies estarán en ese yom
on the Mount of Olives,
sobre el monte de los olivos,
which is before Jerusalem
que es antes de Jerusalén,
in the east.
al oriente.
Outside the camp,
Fuera del campamento,
outside the gates,
fuera de las entradas,
in the east.
al oriente.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Watch this.
Miren esto.
The doors of the Hekel
Las entradas del Hekel, del
were
templo,
closed.
se cerraron.
In order to return to his presence,
Estaban cerradas y para poder regresar a su presencia,
you had to go west.
uno tenía que ir hacia el
me say that again.
occidente. Lo diré de
In
nuevo.
order to return to his presence,
Para poder regresar a su
you
presencia,
had to head west.
uno tenía que dirigirse hacia el
To see the
occidente.
veil rent,
Para ver ese velo roto,
you had to be looking east to west.
uno tenía que estar viendo del oriente hacia el occidente.
Not only that,
Y no solo eso.
how many have ever heard of the Garden of Eden?
¿Cuántos han oído del jardín del Edén?
Where did Yahweh put those flaming swords that kept back the way to the tree of life?
¿En dónde fue que Yahweh puso esa espada que
Where?
se revolvía, bloqueando la entrada de nuevo al árbol de la vida?
East.
Al oriente.
Let's just make sure we have that right.
Confirmemos que eso lo tenemos correcto. Vayamos
Bereshit chapter 3.
a Génesis capítulo 3.
Genesis chapter 3.
Bereshit, Génesis capítulo 3.
The last verse, I believe.
El último verso, creo yo,
Yeah.
del
Now I'm
capítulo.
going to show you
Y les voy a
the
enseñar
way back to Yahuwah was always west.
que el camino de nuevo para regresar a Yahweh siempre está hacia el occidente.
Yahuwah put Adam and Eve in a car and drove them out.
Yahweh puso a Adán y a Java en una minivan, en un carro y los sacó fuera.
Verse 24.
Verso 24.
And he placed at the east of Eden
Y puso al oriente del Eden
cherubim,
a cherubín,
cherubim,
querubines
and flaming 45s
y una espada
or swords
flameante,
that went like this, like a windshield wiper.
llameante,
Like this, like a
que iba
windshield
dando
wiper.
vueltas.
If anybody tried to sneak back
Si
into the
alguien se
Garden of
quería
Eden
meter al
before
jardín
Yeshua
del
came,
Edén, antes
if
de que
anybody tried
regresara
to sneak back
Yeshua,
in,
si alguien intentaba meterse antes de la venida de Yeshua,
those flaming swords turned them away
esa espada les bloqueaba el camino,
and guarded the way back.
guardaban el camino a la entrada.
Where were the flaming swords?
¿En dónde estaba esa espada encendida?
East.
Estaba al
If
oriente.
anybody ever wanted to get back in, which direction would they have to head?
Si alguien quería regresar, ¿en qué dirección tenían que ir?
West.
Hacia el occidente.
West.
Hacia el occidente.
There it is.
Ahí está.
The Garden of Eden
El jardín del Edén
was on the Temple Mount.
estaba sobre el
That's another teaching.
monte del templo y esa es otra enseñanza.
Those curtains
Esas cortinas
kept people back.
detenían a la gente que
When
para que no
Yeshua
entrara.
died
Y cuando Yeshua murió
in the east,
en el oriente,
that curtain was ripped.
esa cortina fue rota.
You know what was on that curtain?
¿Saben lo que estaba en esa cortina?
Those two cherubim
Esos dos querubines
with flaming swords.
con la espada
Check that
flamante.
out.
Vean eso.
Those two cherubim
Esos dos querubines
were on that curtain.
estaban en esa cortina.
And what did Yeshua do? When he ripped the veil,
Cuando rompió el velo,
he took those swords out of the way.
quitó esa espada del camino.
And now we enter the holy
Y
place
hoy entramos al lugar
by the
apartado
blood of the Lamb.
por la sangre del
Yeshua and
Cordero.
the water of the Lamb.
Yeshua y el agua del Cordero.
Died on Golgotha.
Él murió en Gólgota.
I said two more, and I only give you one more.
Les
Please,
dije
please forgive
y
me.
les daré otra más. Perdónenme.
Ezekiel 44.
Ezequiel 44.
And you're going to love this one.
Y les va a gustar esto.
He brought Ezekiel to see the millennial temple.
Él trajo a Ezequiel a ver el templo milenial.
Verse 1.
Verso 1.
He brought me by the outer gate
Me trajo por la entrada exterior
of Jerusalem
de Jerusalén
and of the Kadosh place
y del lugar apartado
that looks to the east.
que ve hacia el oriente.
That's the eastern gate.
Esa es la entrada del oriente.
And look, the eastern gate was
Y
closed.
mira que estaba cerrada.
There are many gates into Jerusalem, but this is the eastern gate.
Hay muchas entradas que hacia Jerusalén, pero esta es la entrada al oriente.
Then said Yahweh to me, this gate shall be closed.
Y luego me dijo Yahweh a mí, esta entrada estará cerrada,
It shall not be opened.
no se abrirá,
No man shall enter in by it.
ningún hombre entrará por ella.
Because Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel,
Porque Yahweh, el Elohim de
has
Israel,
entered in by it.
entró por ella.
Therefore it shall be closed.
Por lo tanto estará cerrada.
When the prince, verse 3, comes,
Cuando el príncipe venga,
he will do his ministry before Yahweh.
él hará su ministerio delante de
He
Yahweh.
will enter the temple
Él entrará al templo
by the porch of the eastern gate,
por el pórtico de la entrada al oriente.
and when he exits,
Y cuando se vaya,
he will go out
irá
by the same eastern gate.
por esa misma entrada al
When you
oriente.
go out of the eastern gate, you are on the Mount of Olives.
Cuando ustedes vayan a la entrada al oriente, están sobre el monte de los olivos.
It says he will enter that gate.
Dice que entrará por esa
He'll be
entrada.
found guilty and tried as a blasphemer.
Será encontrado culpable como un blasfemo.
The Nasi will go back out that gate
Nací se irá de nuevo por esa entrada
and die on the Mount of
y
Olives.
morirá sobre el monte de los
And
olivos.
just in case you thought he still died at Gordon's Calvary or the Church of the Holy
Y en
Sepulchre,
caso de que todavía creen que él murió
which
sobre el
is
Calvario de
south,
Gordón o
west,
sobre
all different directions.
en la iglesia del Calvario, del sepulcro del Calvario, que está en otras direcciones.
When you go to Israel today,
Cuando hoy vayan a Israel,
is the eastern gate shut?
está cerrada esa entrada al oriente.
Yes.
Sí.
You know why it's shut?
¿Saben por qué está cerrada?
Because Yahuwah,
Porque Yahweh,
2,000 years ago,
2000 años atrás,
entered in that gate.
entró por esa entrada
It remains shut.
y permanece
The
cerrada.
fact that it's shut
Y el hecho de que está
shows
cerrada
us, number one,
nos enseña en primer lugar
that the Mashiach has come,
que el Mesías ha venido
and it shows us how he entered,
y nos enseñó por dónde entró,
how he exited
cómo se fue
before he suffered,
antes de sufrir
and where he suffered.
y dónde fue que sufrió.
On the internet,
En el
type
internet,
in
escriban
where were the red heifers killed.
en donde morían las vacas alazanas.
And you will see
Y verán
on the Mount of Olives.
que era en el Monte de los Olivos.
It's so beautiful.
Es tan precioso.
He celebrated his last Passover
Él celebró su última Pascua
on the Mount of Olives.
ahí en el Monte de los
They
Olivos.
sung the hymns
Entonaron los himnos
in the Garden of Gethsemane,
en el jardín de
the
Getsemaní,
foot of the Mount of Olives.
al pie del Monte de los Olivos.
And the next day,
Y al próximo Yom
he would be marched to the skull
sería encaminado a la calavera
and die on that
y
same mountain.
moriría allí en esa misma
Now,
montaña.
everybody see the Passover connection?
¿Y han visto ustedes la conexión de la
See that
Pascua?
Passover connection?
¿Ven la conexión de la Pascua?
Isn't that beautiful?
¿No es eso
Baruch
precioso?
Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Is it actually 3:30?
Ya son las 3:30.
We're ahead of schedule.
Estamos adelantados.
Wow.
This is yet another message.
I do have one more.
Tengo otro mensaje.
It is Shabbat. Praise Yahuwah. Yisrael, we love you. Come back for more Friday night. Mark it down, 8 o'clock.
Shabbat.
Friday night.
Praise
Wow.
Yahuwah.
You can sing, you don't need.
Shabbat.
Everyone. It is
Nos
Shabbat.
vemos el próximo
Praise
viernes a
Yahuwah.
las 8 de la mañana. Hashem
No
Yahshua
sin no eat.
HaMashiach. Baruch Hashem
Let's try it
Yahweh.
again.
Si
It is
entro
Shabbat.
no comen.
Praise Yahuwah.
Shabbat.
Amen. Shalom Yisrael.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Baruch
Shalom.
Hashem
Thank you for
Yahweh.
tuning in.
Toda Rabá por
Baruch
sintonizarse.
Hashem.
Exaltado sea el nombre de Yahweh. Shavua Tova. Pesach Sameach.
Amen.